Welcome to the Northwest Sports Fanatics YouTube channel. I am your host, Orion. I got a great game for you here today on Sunday, April 12th, 2026. We got the Houston Astros versus the Seattle Mariners. First pitch is going to be here in just a couple minutes. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into these starting lineups. Happy Sunday, everyone. And on the thumb, on the left, Houston's very own Jose Altuve. And on the right, the best center fielder in the game, it's J-Rod Julio Rodriguez. Now let's get into the starting lineups here first for the visiting Houston Astros. Leading off for the Astros at second base, Jose Altuve. Batting second, DHing for H-Town, Yordan Alvarez. Batting third, playing third base, Isaac Paredes. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, first baseman, Christian Walker. Batting fifth, playing right field for the Astros, Cam Smith. Batting sixth, playing left field, Joey Loperfido. Batting seventh, catching today for Houston, Yanier Diaz. Batting eighth, the former Mariner center fielder, Taylor Trammell. And batting ninth, the former Brave and now Houston Astro shortstop in the 9-hole, Nick Allen. And on the mound for the Astros, the former Seattle Mariner, 0-0 record, ERA of 3.68, Cody Bolton. And now let's get into the starting lineup for your Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners at third base, welcome back, Brendan Donovan. Batting second, catching today for Seattle, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting third, playing center field, it's J-Rod Julio Rodriguez. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, first baseman, it's Nails Josh Naylor. Batting fifth, playing left field, it's Randy Arozarena. Batting sixth, playing right field, Luke Raley. Batting seventh, playing shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Batting eighth, DHing for Seattle, it's the Italian stallion, Dominic Canzone. And batting ninth, playing second base, Cole Young. And on the mound with an 0-2 record, an ERA of 5.40, it is Walter, a.k.a. Logan Gilbert. Fantastic win last night. You know, we know that J.P. Crawford ended up getting the game-winning RBI, which makes us feel great. And again, when you end up, going down 7-2, most of the time you don't come back. Out of, 100 games, maybe you come back 5 times out of 100. Maybe even less than that. But again, you have to have heart. You have to have faith. And again, after a 5-game losing streak, we go in, facing this Astro team that had poor pitching. We had poor hitting. We won game 1, 9-6. And we won game 2, 8-7. So it feels really good. My best friend and his dad just got home. So they're waiting to watch these 2 games with Logan Gilbert and George Kirby on the mound. And I'm a little jealous, that my best friend and his dad got to see the 2 best games of the year. But I'm definitely honored to be your guy here on YouTube for the Seattle Mariners, and we had a blast here on the channel, even though I wasn't there at T-Mobile in person. Michelle in the building, what's good? Marine Bean in the building, what's good? Andrea in the building, what's good? I see you. No good? All good, baby. I see you. Daniel in the building, what's good? Roy in the building, what's good? Let's get it, baby. And let's get everything situated here. We got the Steelhead unis on, and they don't have too many photos yet, but we will be wearing these on every Sunday. Really, the only Mariner photo that I was able to find with the Steelheads that looks good was this one. But if I find more throughout the broadcast, I'll be able to plug them in. Logan Gilbert on the mound, Jose Altuve in the box. First pitch, high and inside with a 4-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour to Jose Altuve, 1-0 count. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Let's go, Logan. 1-0 pitch. Popped behind the plate to the T-Mobile bricks. Four-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour there by Logan Gilbert. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jose Altuve. And obviously we know Logan started off very poorly, losing his first 2 starts. Played pretty good in start number 3, but didn't get the win. And hopefully we can build off that here in start number 4 for Logan Gilbert. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, splitter, high and inside, 83 miles an hour of nastiness by Logan Gilbert. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Top of the first inning, 0-0 here early between the Astros and the Mariners. 1-2 pitch, and a little dribbler over Cole Young's head. And, Jose Altuve, a thorn in our side, and struggles steam to continue here for Logan Gilbert, but hopefully he won't give up any runs here in the first inning. It's always Jose Altuve, Yordan Alvarez, and Carlos Correa that are a thorn in the Mariners' side. And I don't mind if they get a few hits here and there, as long as they're not getting home runs or RBIs. Next up, DHing here for Houston, Yordan Alvarez, who's got a home run in each game so far. Hopefully he does not homer here in game number 3. Strikeout and a double play, or a double play and strikeout would be great. And Yordan has been batting as far as one of the best players in MLB to start off the year. First pitch, low and away with a slider, 85 miles an hour from Logan Gilbert, 1-0 count. Trident's up, let's go M's. 1-0 pitch, beautiful curveball, off speed, 81 miles an hour. Kind of surprised Alvarez didn't swing at that. Normally when it's right down the middle, if it's off speed or a fastball, usually crushes it. So, I know he's being a little patient in the box, but Logan's got to be careful. 1-1 pitch to Yordan Alvarez. Pitch is high and away, cutter, 90 miles an hour there by Logan Gilbert. 2 balls and 1 strike to Yordan Alvarez. And we have an afternoon game tomorrow as well, same time on Monday, with George Kirby on the mound at 1:10 Pacific, and I will be here. 2-1 pitch to Alvarez, crushes it into left field, fading out of play. Four-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour there by Logan Gilbert. 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first. Jose Altuve with a bloop single into center field over Cole Young's head. But again, as long as a few hits end up happening, but no RBIs and big home runs early, that would be definitely beneficial. 2-2 pitch to Alvarez, low and away. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Alvarez. Logan Gilbert on the mound. Yordan Alvarez in the box. Yordan calls time, regroups himself, and hopefully we can get an easy out or a punch out here. Not easy to get Yordan Alvarez out, let me tell you. Same thing with Correa and Altuve. 3-2 pitch from Gilbert. Big swing and a miss, wild throw, and the runner is going to go towards third. And again, we got to be better, on these throws. Whether it's Mitch Garver or Cal Raleigh, it's been kind of a trend where we're going wide right. And again, we end up getting the strikeout on Yordan Alvarez, but then you end up getting the runner to advance. And again, not ideal. Okay, runner cannot advance. Good. Especially after the strikeout. So Altuve was trying to pull a fast one and get himself all the way to third base from first. So down goes Yordan Alvarez. Altuve trying to pull a fast one. Not so fast. Next up, in the 3-hole, third baseman, Isaac Paredes. And that definitely is much better to have Altuve at first rather than at third. First pitch to Paredes, dude there, four-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour, high and inside, 1-0 count. Top of the first inning, 0-0 here early with a runner at first and 1 out. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking high and away. Cutter 91 miles an hour there by Logan Gilbert. 1 ball and 1 strike with a runner at first, Jose Altuve with 1 out. If we can get a slow dribbler up the middle for a double play here in the top of the first inning, that would be ideal. Throw to first. Oh, we caught him. And Jose Altuve napping Oh my. And we've seen guys like Randy and a few others that take a nap and obviously was not anticipating the throw to first. Great awareness by Logan Gilbert, and someone was sleeping, and it was Jose Altuve. I love that. Let's go. 2 away. And normally in a situation like that, Gilbert doesn't throw to first. So that's definitely what caught Altuve off guard. I mean, for a situation like that, I mean, that happens, maybe in Gilbert's repertoire in the first inning, maybe one time out of every 5 to 10 games, and he caught him. Great job. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss, and Logan's really getting the momentum now after the wild throw from Cal, trying to get Altuve as he was on the run and gun and trying to make his way to third. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Paredes. And again, this is a good chance here. If we can get the punch out here, it'll kind of give us the exclamation point here in the top of the first inning when things could have been shaky, but we definitely regrouped very quickly. 1-2 pitch. Popped up into shallow right field. Luke Raley is there, and that's a very nice first inning there for the Seattle Mariner defense. Great job. I like those steelhead unis that we got as well. I mean, I do like the grays like I have on right now with the throwback Ken Griffey Jr., but the steelhead look, it's pretty clean, and I like it. I mean, honestly, I like every jersey combo. There's not really one that I don't like, but again, nice job there by Seattle. Let's go to the bottom of the first inning and see who's up next here for the Mariners. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Leading off for the Mariners at third base. Welcome back from that cold and flu. You came in and ended up pinch hitting late and ended up getting on base, which was fantastic, helping us win the game last night 8-7 when we were down 7-2. Welcome back to the team, Brendan Donovan, the best hitter on the team, not named Cole Young. Batting second, catching today for Seattle, the big dumper, Cal Raleigh, who had a home run early in the game yesterday with J.P. Crawford getting walked. Great to see you start to find your form. And batting third with his first home run yesterday, it is center fielder J-Rod Julio Rodriguez. And on the mound for the Astros, the former Mariner, 0-0 record, ERA of 3.68, Cody Bolton. Bolton would normally get some time as one of the, guys in the pen, but obviously with the Astros' woes with their pitching, they've had to move him to be one of the starters at the moment. So we should be able to fully take advantage of Cody Bolton, at least you would think. 23,727 subscribers. Ended up having a great showing late last night. And again, hopefully we'll be able to get some good numbers here today. Looks like we gained 2 subs since the last commercial break. Thank you so much. 71 subs to 23,800. $23 likes. Off to a good start. First pitch to Brendan Donovan. Takes a strike looking outside. 0-1 count. And obviously that should have been a ball, but we'll see how this is played out. 0-1 pitch. Oh, it hits Donnie on the foot. I'll take that. There we go. Brendan Donovan, patient in the box, getting over the flu, and already getting on base for the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go. Let's go, baby. 23 likes, 77 to get to 100. Let's go. Hawks in the building. What's good? And again, for as bad as we started the season, those last 2 victories against the Astros were so fulfilling. And again, it definitely feels like we've turned the corner and turned the page. First pitch is high and away. Cutter 91 miles an hour from Cody Bolton, the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. 1-0 count. And again, the Astro pitching woes should continue. At least our starters, our bullpen, and our defense are amazing. Hitting obviously was poor, but it's starting to get back on track. 1-0 pitch, hard hit ball into center field, but it drops in play, and that is 1 away. But obviously a good sign for Cal starting to hit it deep, even if it ends up not being a home run at every single at-bat. Nice catch there by Taylor Trammell, another former Mariner, with Cody Bolton in the lineup. Next up, in the 3-hole, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. First pitch right down the middle to Julio Rodriguez. Sinker 95 miles an hour by Cody Bolton. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch from Bolton, the former Mariner. Julio crushes it into right field, fading out of play. Cutter 90 miles an hour there by Bolton. No balls and 2 strikes to Julio Rodriguez. Haven't missed anything yet besides Brendan Donovan on the second pitch getting hit in the foot. And we have him at first base wearing these beautiful steelhead throwback jerseys on Sundays all year. And we got an 0-2 count here to Julio. 0-2 pitch. Julio pops it up and looks like fading out of play. Sweeper 82 miles an hour by Cody Bolton, who traditionally is a bullpen guy, at least, for the Mariners, and now obviously thrown into the mix as a starter for at least the time being because Houston's woes and struggles with their pitching. So, we should be able to do some damage on Bolton, you would think. 0-2 pitch from Bolton, crushed into right field by Julio, but fading foul. Sinker 95 miles an hour by Cody Bolton. No balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first, Brendan Donovan, and 1 out. Bottom of the first inning, 0-0 here early between the Astros and the Mariners. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Shout out to all the new subs that we've acquired, 300 plus since the beginning of the Seattle Mariner season. And that one is carrying just foul, about maybe 10, 15 feet. Nice souvenir for that fan there. Nothing more exciting than getting a foul ball or a home run ball at a Seattle Mariner game. And I just texted my best friend. He just got back, from the Seattle trip for those last 2 games and asked him if he got at least close to getting a ball. And he said a few rows away, but nowhere near for him to be able to, go and get it. So 0-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Down goes Julio Rodriguez. And that is 2 away. But he'll have one more chance to get a ball with me when we go on the 4th of July against the Toronto Blue Jays. We got the same seats, obviously, that he sat in with him and his dad. Can't wait for that particular game, but I'm excited about here today. Next up, for the Seattle Mariners, in the 4-hole, Josh Naylor, who's one of the top 2 worst hitters so far to start the year. And again, if he can just take some pitches, he'll be fine. First pitch, high and away, cutter, 91 miles an hour, 1-0 count. In a lot of the previous at-bats, he would have swung at that, popped up, and would have been out. At some point, you got to learn to be able to get to pitch 4, pitch 5, pitch 6, because the strategy that you've been using, Josh, it hasn't been working. 1-0 pitch, fouls that one off towards third base with a laser, and foul. 1 ball and 1 strike to Nails, Josh Naylor. I would love to see Naylor on every at-bat in this game to get at least a pitch, 4, 5, 6, but that's probably not realistic. There's still going to be a few where he'll try to get a first pitch strike down the middle, anticipating, a big hit. But again, that strategy hasn't worked for him so far. Throw to first, and Brendan Donovan is not sleeping like Jose Altuve was in the top of the first inning. He gets back to first safe. 1 ball and 1 strike to Josh Naylor. Very uncharacteristic for Naylor, to be one of the top 2 worst hitters in MLB. But again, when you swing at the first pitch and you end up swinging at garbage and popping up or grounding out, that adds up, especially if you're not changing your strategy. But hopefully the, manager, Dan Wilson, as well as Seitzer and Edgar, the hitting coaches have worked with him or at least spoke to him about it. And right now we're, approaching pitch 4. So this is the best that we've seen out of Naylor in a minute. 2-1 pitch. High and away, cutter, 91 miles an hour there by Cody Bolton. 3 balls and 1 strike to Josh Naylor. And on top of that, this Astro team is one of the worst pitching teams in baseball. Why bail them out and swing at garbage and get cheap outs for them when you can make them pay, right? It just makes sense. See if we can get the walk here. 3-1 pitch, outside, there we go. And again, I know it's kind of crazy to get so excited about Josh Naylor getting a walk, but again, when you're one of the top 2 worst hitters to start the year, that's a good sign. Nice job, Josh Naylor. I don't know if I've ever been more excited for a walk for one of our guys. And hopefully he'll be able to get a home run or a base hit at some point in the game. Nice job, Josh. Great patience. Next up, in the 5-hole, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Now we know he's a liability in pop-ups and ground balls in left field. Every once in a while, he'll end up getting a home run or an RBI, but let's hope that the defense ends up being somewhat decent today and that bat comes alive. First pitch with the cutter down the middle, 91 miles an hour by Bolton, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, high and away, 4-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour missing. 1 ball and 1 strike to Randy Arozarena. Trident's up, let's go M's. TJ in the building, what's good? 1-1 pitch. Randy with a little blooper into center field. Off the one hop, Brendan Donovan with the speed, and he gets home. Let's go. Randy with a double and with an RBI. I love this. And it is 1-0 Mariners. Tridents up. Let's go, M's. That's the Randy that I love. And again, the defense just makes me go crazy. And I know I'm not the only one that just gets irritated with his lack of effort and hustle. But nice by Randy for a guy that can't really play defense. He is a pretty good hitter most of the time. Donovan, Cole Young, and Randy have been the best hitters, within, these, first few, 14, 15 games. Julio and Cal are starting to get it going. Nice job there by Randy. I like that. Randy with that single, Naylor at second. Runners at first and second with nice RBI single there by Randy Arozarena. Next up is Luke Raley. 0-1 pitch is low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Bolton to Raley. I got so excited I forgot about Josh Naylor getting walked because I'm so used to him getting out on the first pitch. 1-1 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike to Luke Raley. Luke Raley in the box. Cody Bolton, the former Mariner bullpen pitcher, on the mound. Great start again here. No need to bail them out, on swinging at garbage, especially when they're one of the worst pitching teams. And Raley with a base knock up the middle, double play opportunity. No, because they already have 2 outs. Toe tap on the bag, and that is out number 3. Unfortunately, we're not able to get any more than that 1 run. But again, 1 is a lot better than none. And again, a great start with the Steelhead uniforms for the Seattle Mariners. I'll take it. Josh Naylor with a walk. That makes me excited. Randy getting the RBI single. And then obviously, Luke Raley, what can you do? Fielder's choice. And again, there's going to be opportunities for the Astros with fielder's choice and double plays. But again, at least we end up getting the 1 run. And let's see if we can actually play some good defense and have some good pitching out of Logan Gilbert. Because every time that we score and have a lead, right, in this series, the Astros have responded in the next inning. So hopefully it's not 1-1 after the second inning. But let's see if we can keep it 1-0. But that'll be up to Logan Gilbert and the defense. But primarily Logan Gilbert. All right, end of the first inning, 1-0 Mariners. Randy with an RBI single, bringing home Brendan Donovan in those beautiful Steelhead throwbacks on Sundays. 1-0 Seattle. Tridents up. Let's see who's up next here in the top of the second for the Houston Astros. Next up for the Stros, in the 4-hole, first baseman Christian Walker. Batting second in the 5-hole, right fielder Cam Smith. And batting 6th, left fielder Joey Loperfido. And on the mound for the Mariners, 0-2 record, an ERA of 5.40, one of the worst top 10 pitchers to start the year, but I think he will get better as the season goes on, Logan Gilbert. Tridents up, let's go M's. $71 subs to 23,800. Ooh, Cal Raleigh 70s jersey night. That's a cool little throwback jersey. I know they did the one-piece jersey already. All right, we're at 41 likes, 59 to get to 100. $41 likes, 59 to get to 100. Let's go, baby. First pitch to Christian Walker, pops it up in foul territory. Brendan Donovan is there, and there we go. And that is 1 away. And Donovan is going to make errors, but remember, he's not a normal third baseman. When he played on the Cardinals, normally it was going to be around second base and shortstop. Yeah, there was a few games he played at third, but only a couple. So again, he's going to make the effort and dive into the wall. There are going to be times where he's going to, get the ball lost in the sun, and he's going to miss a few plays at third. Again, anyone that plays a brand new position, you're going to make mistakes. But overall, we love Brendan Donovan, the number 1 hitter on the team. And obviously, we know Cole Young is number 2 and has been the overall best player, offense and defense. And then obviously Randy at 3. And then we're starting to see Cal and Julio creep up that list as well. First pitch to Cam Smith, takes a strike looking, high and inside by Logan Gilbert, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, fouls that one off towards right field, out of play. Four-seam fastball by Logan Gilbert, 97 miles an hour. No balls and 2 strikes to Cam Smith. Logan Gilbert on the mound, Cam Smith in the box. And Cam is a very crafty player. He's not a real big name in baseball, but if you look at his numbers, based off batting average and his defense in right field, he's actually played very well to start the 2026 season. O2 pitch. Low and at the knees, four-seam fastball, 98 miles an hour there by Logan Gilbert. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. 1-0 Mariner lead with a Randy Arozarena RBI single, bringing home Brendan Donovan, and we will take that early 1-0 lead. 1-2 pitch, low and at the knees. Splitter, 83 miles an hour missing going into the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cam Smith. Two-two pitch. Big swing and a miss. There we go. That's the Logan Gilbert that I love. Way to bring the electricity. Nice job, Logan Gilbert. Cam Smith, not an easy batter to strike out. Way to bring the electricity, Logan Gilbert. We love you. And that is 2 away. Next up, left fielder in the 6th hole, Joey Loperfido. First pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle with the slider, 87 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, hard hit ball into left field, fading out of play. 97 miles an hour there by Logan Gilbert. No balls and 2 strikes to Joey Loperfido. Logan Gilbert on the mound, Joey Loperfido in the box. 0-2 pitch, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Joey Loperfido. Come on, Logan. One-two pitch. Little dribbler up the middle. Should be a routine play. Throw to first. And that is out number 3. I agree. I mean, I think it's kind of a good luck charm. He just, ended up making this new one. And I went through his whole library. He's made, over, 200 beats, within the last few months. And I went through his, main 122 beats that he's made within the last, maybe month and a half, and just cycled through everything to see if I missed anything that I feel that would be a good fit on the channel. And this is definitely one of my, favorite ones. And again, with the upgrade in the package that I helped him purchase, with new synthesizer upgrades, the beats should end up, coming through just as frequently as they were in 2025. But definitely we should be able to get more slappers here on the channel. Great job there by Logan Gilbert. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. And again, for the first time in a game where we have taken a lead in the first inning, they didn't score in the second inning and make it 1-1 or 2-1 Astros. I'm loving that. Logan Gilbert, very poor in the first 2 starts, pretty good in start number 3, and looking like the regular Logan Gilbert, at least so far here in start number 4. Let's see who's up next here for the Mariners in the bottom of the second inning, and let's see if we can put up another run. Next up for the Mariners in the 7th hole, shortstop J.P. Crawford. And not only did he win the game for us, with that game-winning RBI, he filled in for Brendan Donovan very nicely as a leadoff hitter. You don't want to put Julio in that leadoff spot. Victor Robles is another guy that you could put at a leadoff, but he's injured, obviously. So having J.P. Crawford is, a really nice touch. He played that position for us for many years as leadoff, had to go to the 9 hole, probably was a little bit of a gut punch, to have to go from the 1 to the 9. But again, nice job by J.P. Crawford, not only last night, but within the last few games leading off for Brendan Donovan while he had the flu. Batting second in the 8 hole, it's the Italian stallion, Dominic Canzone. And batting third, the best overall player, offense and defense, Cole Young. First pitch to J.P. Crawford, takes a strike looking right down the middle. Curveball, 80 miles an hour, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, fouled off behind the plate. Four-seam fastball there by Cody Bolton, 94 miles an hour. No balls and 2 strikes from Bolton to J.P. Crawford. And we know we got Colt Emerson, waiting in the wings, and he's going to be a guy that's going to pair up with Cole Young to make that infield very, very strong with Naylor at first, Donovan at third. But again, this might be the last year JP's on the team, but, we'll see. It all really depends on the money, and, we know Colt Emerson is the future, but we definitely appreciate what JP has brought to this team, not only last night, but in his career as a Seattle Mariner. Pitches outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes to J.P. Crawford. 1-2 pitch, low and away. A curveball, 81 miles an hour there by Bolton. 2 balls and 2 strikes to J.P. Crawford. 2-2 pitch, high and away. Four-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour, missing there by Cody Bolton, the former Mariner pen pitcher. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to J.P. Crawford. Take the walk here, J.P. 3-2 pitch, and great patience there by J.P. Crawford. And that is a nice 6-pitch walk. Great job, JP. I love the patience. Hopefully that'll rub off on Naylor and a few of the others that have struggled early in the year. Next up in the 8-hole, DHing for Seattle, the Italian Stallion, Dominic Canzone. Trailed by 5+ runs and won by being out hit by 10+. It's been a minute, but again, you never give up on this Seattle Mariner team. First pitch is low and away. Changeup, 89 miles an hour by Cody Bolton. 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch. Takes a strike looking low and at the knees, but in the zone. Cutter, 91 miles an hour by Cody Bolton. 1 ball and 1 strike to Dominic Canzone. One pitch. Canzone crushes that one out of play. Four-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour there by Cody Bolton. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. One-two pitch, low and away. Change up, 89 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. Cody Bolton on the mound. Dominic Canzone in the box. Two-two pitch, high and away. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. Randy Arozarena, HR, had a RBI single, bringing home Brandon Donovan. 1-0 Seattle. Bottom of the second inning, 1-0 Mariners with a runner at first and no outs. Bolton on the mound, Canzone in the box. Throw to first, and JP is safe. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Take the walk if it's there. 3-2 pitch. There we go. Nice patience there by Dominic Canzone. And another walk here for the Seattle Mariners. And again, if you are going against the worst pitching team in baseball when we're the worst hitting team, which is worse? Obviously, it's not our hitting, and again, and when pitching is bad, it's even worse than it being the worst hitting team in baseball. But again, we're slowly climbing out of that rut, when we were the worst hitting team. And again, guys are starting to come around, and we're going to slowly start climbing out of that list. And then eventually, at some point, we won't even be in the bottom 10 of bottom 10 hitting teams. So, when you're the worst hitting team going against the worst pitching team, obviously, the Astros are on the worst end of that. And we've proven that, obviously, in these first 2 games. And obviously here in game 3, off to a decent start. And hopefully we'll be able to get this win, because if we can get this win with Logan Gilbert, we got George Kirby on the bump tomorrow. And we don't want to talk about any sweeps yet, but if we do get the win today, we can talk about it, obviously, at the end of the broadcast going into tomorrow. Afternoon start, 1:10 Pacific, George Kirby on the mound tomorrow. First pitch to Cole Young is high and away. Four-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour, 1-0 count. Cole Young has been the second best hitter on the team to Brendan Donovan and the best defender by a mile. 1-0 pitch, high and away. Sinker, 94 miles an hour there by Cody Bolton, the former Mariner. 2 balls and no strikes with runners at first and second and no outs. This could be a big inning for the Mariners if we can just get the patience here. I would love to go up, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0 here in the second if we can. 2-0 pitch, and Young cracks that one foul towards the third base line. RBI leaders this season, Cal Raleigh with 10, Cole Young with 8, Randy and Luke with 7 apiece. And those numbers will continue to climb, and we'll get a few other guys to join that list like Julio and a few others. 2-1 pitch, high and inside. Great patience there by Cole Young. Does not go around. 4-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour by Cody Bolton. 3 balls and 1 strike to Cole Young. And I know that a lot of these guys want to swing, but if you're going against the worst pitching team in baseball, take the walks. And then eventually, someone's going to come up with that big hit, whether that be a 3-run jam or a grand salami. 3-1 pitch, and Cole Young with the patience, baby. I love it. And now we got bases loaded with no outs. Someone pinch me. This is awesome. Nice job, Cole. We go from our second best hitter on the team to the best hitter on the team. Welcome back to the lineup. Still recovering from the cold and the flu. Pinched hit late in the game yesterday. Third baseman Brendan Donovan. Great opportunity for a grand salami here, as well as an RBI single or an RBI double. Make them pay. And remember, in the games against the Guardians and the Yankees and the Angels and the Rangers, we weren't getting hit. We weren't getting walks. We weren't being able to, take advantage. And finally, it feels good to take advantage of a team. First pitch takes a strike looking right down the middle. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, hard hit ball into left field and foul. As that jumps into the crowd about 7 rows back. Beautiful souvenir for that fan. I definitely would take a Brendan Donovan foul ball. You best believe. Sinker, 95 miles an hour there by Cody Bolton. No balls and 2 strikes to Brendan Donovan. Jordan in the building. What's good, brother? And the Astros already have another pitcher warming up early in the game. I love that. 0-2 pitch. Crushes that one foul towards that third base line. Cutter, 91 miles an hour. No balls and 2 strikes with bases loaded and no outs. Bolton on the mound, the former Mariner pen pitcher, thrown into the starting role because of the Astros' poor pitching woes to start 2026. And Brendan Donovan, the best hitter on the Seattle Mariners, in the box. And we have a mound visit by Houston. Jordan, Ellie De La Cruz, 3-run blast. I love it. How are the Reds looking in your eyes as a fan? You like what you see so far to start the year? I know Stewart has been going off. I've been kind of paying attention, as far as young guys as well as old school vets, and looking at guys that are homering or, have good RBI numbers or good batting average numbers. But I've seen what Stewart is doing and, a few of the others. So hopefully you guys are going to end up having a good year. And wow, they're going to pull Cody Bolton already. Bases loaded, no outs. And we saw the starting pitcher, in game number 1, get pulled in the first inning with almost 40 pitches. And again, this is what happens when you have a guy that normally is a bullpen guy for the Mariners that really wasn't very good, and you throw him as a starter. Well, sometimes this is going to happen. And hopefully the next pitcher that comes in will struggle just as mightily as Cody Bolton. And let's see if we can take advantage. I think Murray is coming in. All right, Jaden Murray coming in, which is confirmed. All right, let's look at the final numbers for Cody Bolton. 1 inning pitched, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 4 walks, 1 K, 42 pitches, 21 strikes with a 4.32 ERA. He came into the game with a 0-0 record with an ERA of 3.68. And now they're going to bring in Jaden Murray, who has no numbers for the 2026 season. So this could definitely be very, very favoring, for the Seattle Mariners here. Hopefully we'll see what happens. Hopefully we'll be able to take advantage. And he had a little bit of time with the team last year, so we'll see how this plays out. All right, Jaden Murray on the mound. And we still got Brandon Donovan in the box with bases loaded and no outs. Let's go. Captain with a tenner, appreciate you getting us on the board. $10 holla. 90 to go to hit our dono goal. Appreciate you, Captain. Captain says we're at 55. Let's go, baby. Trident's up. All day in the building. What's good? It's been a minute. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 71 subs to get to 23,800. We've gained 300 plus subs since the beginning of the Mariner 2026 season, which is great. And we're going to have a very good chance, throughout the year to be able to get to 25,000 subs. And, depending on how far we go in the playoffs, if we make the playoffs this year and go on a deep run like last year, who knows? We might be able to get, 26, 27, 28,000. And, if things go really, really well, like, we end up going to the World Series, who knows? We might end up even getting to 30,000 subs. So very exciting. My long-term goal, obviously, is 100K subs, but got to get to 25 first, and then 50, 75, and then 100. And definitely we are on our way. 14 years streaming. This is my 10th year on YouTube. I plan on doing this for the rest of my life. So, you got to be able to have, great fans to be able to keep producing. And we definitely have some of the best here. 0-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Down goes Brendan Donovan with the new pitcher coming in, getting the punch out, Jaden Murray. And that's unfortunate because that's not something that happens often for Brandon Donovan. But also on the flip side, Donovan doesn't get into too many 0-2 counts on the regular either. But we still got bases loaded with one out, and we know Cal Raleigh is starting to find the rhythm. Let's see if Cal can end up getting a home run here with a grand salami or at least an RBI single to make it 2-0. First pitch by Jaden Murray to Cal Raleigh. Takes a strike. Sweeper, 81 miles an hour. Big whiff and a miss there by Big Dumper. 0-1 count. Oh-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss, high and away. Four-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour there by Jaden Murray. Bring back Cody Bolton. We were doing much better with him. And obviously Murray starting to build a little confidence, obviously getting out Brendan Donovan with bases loaded and no outs, and now getting into another 0-2 count here to Cal Raleigh. Still feel that we can end up getting an RBI, here before this inning is over. We want to make sure we're not leaving bases loaded stranded. 0-2 pitch. High and inside. Four-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour there by Jaden Murray. 1 ball and 2 strikes with bases loaded and 1 out. Trident's up. Let's go M's. Best case scenario, a grand salami, but we don't have to be greedy. We can take an RBI single, RBI double if we can get it. But obviously making the game 5-0 early would be fantastic. But, based on how Jaden Murray is pitching, I don't think he's going to pitch right down the middle to Cal or Julio on deck. They already are down 1-0, and Yanier Diaz has a certain type of game plan. They're pitching high and away, low and away. But again, if Cal does see that pitch right down the middle, he better swing because there's a good chance it could go yard. Bottom of the second inning, bases loaded with 1 out, 1-0 Mariners. Starting pitcher Cody Bolton, a bullpen guy for us, ended up getting pulled just moments ago. And again, it's been kind of a common theme for the Astros so far in the series. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 1-2 pitch from Daniels. Big swing and a miss. Down Cal Raleigh goes. That's unfortunate. And that is 2 away. Should have kept Cody Bolton in there longer. All right, here we go. Come on, Julio. I mean, if Brendan Donovan struck out and Cal struck out, you got your first home run yesterday that we predicted here on the channel. 0 for 1 with a K. You know, I don't expect a home run here, but can we please get a walk or an RBI single? Let's make it happen. First pitch, big swing and a miss, low and away with a sweeper. 82 miles an hour there by Jaden Murray, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, high and away by Jaden Murray to Julio Rodriguez. 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike to Julio Rodriguez. Come on, J-Rod. One pitch, high and inside, tried to jam Julio. And again, nothing down the middle to really Donovan or Cal Raleigh. So if Julio can recognize that and just be patient, we can bring in that runner from third with a walk. And I know Julio wants to swing, you know, just like Donovan and Cal, they want to swing. But sometimes when pitching, you know, is a little off, you have to have that patience. And hopefully Julio will here. 2-1 pitch, low and away. Now, if that was Julio last year, he definitely would have swung at that. 3 balls and 1 strike to Julio Rodriguez. Come on, Julio. Be smart here. If it's not there, don't swing and bring that runner home from third. 3-1 pitch. Let's go, baby. And again, Julio last year, he would have swung at that. And there we go. 2-0 Mariners. And J.P. Crawford makes his way home from third base. And again, great job by Julio Rodriguez. It's about maturing, you know, and getting better. You know, when you get into year 5 through 10, you know, usually you start to hit your prime if you play 15 to 20 years. Nice job there by Julio Rodriguez. Next up, 0 for 0 with a base on ball. Took a walk in his first at bat. Josh Naylor. Maybe he'll do it again. Naylor crushes it, but it's hanging in foul territory. Oh, what a play by Jose Altuve, caught in foul territory. I was hoping that was going to drop. But again, Josh Naylor not learning from his first at-bat. If he just would have been patient and got to pitch 4, pitch 5, maybe we bring in another walk and that another runner coming home from third. But he just has, you know, this tendency to swing at the first pitch 9 times out of 10, and it doesn't work. You know, there's a reason why you're in the bottom 2 in baseball and hitting. And again, I was happy that he took a walk, but it was short-lived. Swings at the first pitch and gets out again. We leave 3 stranded, but not after. We end up getting another run, so we can't complain. You know, we're up 2-0. But if Naylor would have been patient, maybe it could have been 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, 6-0. But again, we'll see how he does in his next at-bat. End of the second inning, 2-0 Seattle. Let's see who's up next here for the Astros in the top of the third inning. Next up for the Astros in the 7-hole, catcher Yanier Diaz. Batting second in the 8-hole, former Seattle Mariners center fielder Taylor Trammell. And batting third from the Atlanta Braves, the 9-hole hitter shortstop Nick Allen. And on the mound for the Mariners, Logan Gilbert. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Gained another sub since the last commercial break. Appreciate you. 70 subs to go to 23,800. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. All right, we're at 67 likes. We're getting there. $67 likes, 33 to 100, baby. First pitch to Yanier Diaz, takes a strike looking, four-seam fastball, high and inside, 96 miles an hour by Logan Gilbert, 0-1 count. Logan Gilbert on the mound, Yanier Diaz in the box. 0-1 pitch, dribbler towards third base, diving play by Donnie, throw to first, and Naylor got him. What a defensive gem there by Brendan Donovan, who still is recovering from the cold and the flu. Nice job, Brendan Donovan. My man. And again, we know he can do it in the box, but great defense there as well. Beautiful, just in time. Next up in the 8-hole, center fielder Taylor Trammell. First pitch is high and away to Taylor Trammell, cutter 91 miles an hour, 1-0 count. Sarah in the building, what's good? I mean, essentially, Donnie is, doing what Polo did to start off the year, and probably will be more consistent throughout the year, and especially late in the year where Polo kind of disappeared after ALDS Game 5 that helped us win against the Tigers. Didn't do a whole lot, against the Blue Jays. And again, Donnie's playing a new position, but he has been the best hitter on the team. And again, very excited to have him on the Seattle Mariner roster, but I do wish the best for Polo on the Mets and Gino going back to his original team, the Cincinnati Reds. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, high and away. Four-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour, there by our guy Walter, a.k.a. Logan Gilbert. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Mariners 2, Astros 0. Yeah, well, again, Gino, we got him at the deadline, and, he's a guy that can hit 40, 50 home runs, 30, 40, 50 home runs, but he strikes out too much, and again, with all the hitting woes that we have, a home run or a strikeout and really nothing in between, you want to be able to have a guy that can actually get singles, doubles, and triples, and that's what Brendan Donovan brings. But we'll see what happens with Gino if he'll be available at the deadline again. 2-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. And down goes Taylor Trammell, another punch out there for our guy, Logan Gilbert, and that is 2 away. Nice job, Logan. Third punch out for Logan Gilbert. 2.2 innings pitch, 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, 3 Ks, 31 pitches, 21 strikes. And again, first 2 starts were terrible, and start number 3, he was getting better, and now start 4 looking like the normal Logan Gilbert. Next up is the former Brave, Nick Allen. First pitch, takes a strike looking high and inside with a four-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour, 0-1 count. And Nick Allen doesn't have any really good photos. This is really the only Astro photo I could find that was decent, him with the headband and whatnot in the locker room. So I figured I'd go with the, Brave photo that was a little bit more HD 4K, at least an action photo. And Allen pops it up into center field. Julio Rodriguez is there in the no-fly zone. And you know what happens when the balls go into the no-fly zone. Julio takes care of it, and that is out number 3. We can always count on Julio Rodriguez. Can't usually count on Luke Raley, Victor Robles, Dominic Canzone all the time in right field, even though Dom is primarily a DH. And we know in left field, Randy can be a liability. But one thing is for sure, Julio Rodriguez brings that Ken Griffey Jr. type of talent in center field, and he gets the job done. Let's go to the bottom of the 3rd inning and see who's up next here for the Seattle Mariners. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Leading off for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 3rd, 1-for-1 with an RBI. Left fielder in the 5-hole with an RBI single, bringing Donnie home from 3rd, Randy Arozarena. He hasn't made any bad defensive plays in left so far and has been productive in the box. That's what we like. Nice job, Randy. Batting second, 0-for-1, right fielder in the 6-hole, Luke Raley. Feel like he was pretty hot with Dominic Canzone early in the season against the Guardians and Yankees, and now has been very hit or miss. The timing has been a little off. Let's see if Luke can get back going and getting some good rhythm here at this at-bat. And batting third, the hero for us last night, and a guy that filled in very nicely at leadoff for Brendan Donovan in the last 2 games when he was sick. 0-for-0 with a run and a base on ball. Shortstop, our hero, J.P. Crawford. Always bringing that electricity, no matter if he's in the 7-hole or if he's leading off. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Gained another sub since the last commercial break. First pitch from Murray to Arosarena. Takes a strike, looking low and away. 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, takes another strike, looking high and away with the sinker. No balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arosarena. Oh, 2 pitch, Randy with a blooper into right field, and it drops. Here we go. Nice job there by Randy Arosarena. 2 for 2 day there for Randy. All right, we're at 78 likes, 22 to get to 100. Let's go, baby. We're almost there. First pitch to Luke Raley, pops it up into shallow left field, and it drops fair. Unbelievable. Wow, Astros out of position, and Randy ends up standing in and getting to third base just in time. Wow. Nice job by Luke. I didn't know if that was going to fall, and Randy ends up just kind of being sneaky and just getting into third base there at the very last second. Now we got runners at first and third with no outs. Let's go. Nice job by Randy, going 2 for 2. And Luke Raley getting a cheap bloop single there into left field. And let's see if J.P. Crawford can knock him in. And Raley actually ended up getting to second base based on that throw to third. Nice job, Luke, making a single into a double. Yeah, it's already confirmed, Sonics, are getting, a team there in Seattle. And then also Vegas is getting a team. It's already confirmed, which is good. They should have never left. And there is a chance that Kevin Durant, when his deal is done with Houston, could come back to Seattle. He wants to, so. And hopefully the Sonic organization is smart enough to bring him back for the last few years of his career. That would definitely put more butts in the seats. And he wants to come back to the team that drafted him. 1-0 pitch, high and away, four-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour there by Murray. 2 balls and no strikes to J.P. Crawford. 2-0 pitch, low and at the knees with a sweeper, missing there by Murray. Count now is 3 balls and no strikes to J.P. Crawford. Let's go, J.P. Take another walk here if needed. And we can get bases loaded unless it's right down the middle and then crush it. 3-0 pitch, takes a strike, looking with a sinker right down the middle, 96 miles an hour there by Jaden Murray. 3 balls and 1 strike to J.P. Crawford. Three-one pitch, and Crawford takes the walk. Beautiful patience by JP. Most players would be too greedy, to be able to have the patience, and they want to make that big hit, the big home run, the big RBI, but not JP, and that's why we love him. Bases loaded now for our guy, the Italian stallion, Dominic Canzone. It really kind of depends on, when the Mariners are playing, because they get priority. We get the most support, when we end up doing the Mariners, NFL, and college football. So again, WWE PLEs are on the back burner now, since they went to ESPN Plus, and nobody's paying $30 a month to watch a poor product, that's being put out, even though I want to watch. But again, it kind of just depends on when the Mariners are playing. And if there is a day off, yeah, I might be able to do some draft coverage, but it really just depends on the timing of it all. I got to stay loyal to people that are going to be loyal to me. So first pitch is fouled off, high and away. Four-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, low and at the knees. Splitter missing there by Murray. 1 ball and 1 strike to Dominic Canzone. I only typically would miss about, maybe 6-7 games regularly because we would do one WWE PLE a month, but we're not doing that anymore. On Easter, I had to visit family, and then I'm going to be going to the game on the 4th of July. So I only plan on missing, 2 games on the channel all year. And then we're going to do playoffs on top of that as well. And then obviously we'll be covering some, Huskies and Oregon Ducks and college football games when that time comes, as well as NFL games for Monday night, Sunday night, and Thursday night as well. Pitches low and at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike to Dominic Canzone. 2-1 pitch. High and away. Good patience here by Dominic Canzone, and we know he's one of those guys that could get a grand salami for us and make it 6-0, but we can be patient here with the poor pitching by the Astros. Cutter missing, 91 miles an hour, high and away. 3 balls and 1 strike to Dominic Canzone. And if Dominic Canzone is just patient and take a walk, we can end up, getting another runner home, but he swings on a 3-1 pitch. Blooper into left field. It is caught, and Randy goes back to third base, and that is 1 away. Yeah, so ESPN ended up buying the rights. They used to have WWE Network, and then it was on Peacock, and people enjoyed that, paying that subscription price for just, really that. And then they got greedy and, want people to pay $30 a month to kind of pool a package with like Hulu and Disney Plus with that package. But a lot of people already have Hulu separately or Disney Plus separately. So, paying $30 a month to watch one PLE a month. And that's, people are usually going to use streaming sites now for that. They're not going to pay the $30 a month. I mean, I guess some people are, but I sure as hell, I'm not going to do that. So first pitch from Murray to Cole Young, low and at the knees, 1-0 count. Usually Thursdays are the day that we're off, and that's usually the day the draft starts is Thursday for, night 1, night 2, rounds 2 and 3 on Friday, and then obviously rounds 4 through 7 on typically Saturday. So if the Mariners are off, then I will be doing night 1 of the draft on the channel. 2-0 pitch to Cole Young, high and inside. 3 balls and no strikes to Cole Young. Take advantage here, Cole. You don't need to, swing if not needed. If Dominic Canzone would have been a little bit more patient, it would be 3-0 right now. I mean, I know people want to be able to be the man, but you can also be the man by taking a walk. And there it is. Cole Young says, you know what? I know how to have patience. I'm not going to swing at garbage. 3-0 Mariners. There we go. Nice patience by Cole Young, baby. Way to bring that electricity. Randy Arozarena walking from third to home. Poor pitching from the Astros, and we're taking advantage. Let's go. And now we're back at the top of the order. Bases loaded with 1 out. Third baseman Brendan Donovan. And if it keeps trending this way and we can win this game, we're going to have a chance to sweep this team tomorrow. We got George Kirby on the mound, and I like that. Yeah, I mean, it's they said the streaming apps would be a better option than cable or satellite, but unfortunately, it's starting to cost more than cable and satellite, and it's just one of those things depending on, if you have hookups. Like if you have T-Mobile like me, I get Hulu and Netflix for free. I got Apple TV Plus for free for like a year or two, but now they upgraded their price, and now I got to pay like $3 a month, but that's still pretty cheap. So, sometimes you got to be able to find, ways to try to, bundle things to get free. And, if you do have T-Mobile and have the app, all you got to do is, flip those things on in the app. And then, you still have the ads on there, but still free is free. And I'll take that. First pitch to Brendan Donovan is a ball with bases loaded and 1 out. 3-0 Seattle. But to me, T-Mobile has got the best, deals and discounts out of any provider. So 1-0 pitch. Takes a strike looking low and at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike to Brendan Donovan. You also get the MLB package where you can watch all the teams for free except your home team. So obviously with the Mariners, it's not included, but you get to watch all the other teams and all the other games for free. Another perk with T-Mobile. So no other provider offers stuff like that. 1-1 pitch, high and away, sinker, 95 miles an hour there by Jaden Murray. 2 balls and 1 strike with bases loaded and 1 out. Jaden Murray on the mound for the Astros, Brendan Donovan in the box. 2-1 pitch. And Donnie crushes it into right field. Goes into foul territory, and that is 2 away. And sliding in home just in time. There we go. Luke Raley. And again, everyone on the team needs to take note on his hustle to first base, his hustle from third to home, his hustle in right field. And just like that, 3-0 turns into 4-0 because of Luke Raley. Nice job with the sac fly by Brandon Donovan, and Luke Raley running with great speed from third to home. Great job. Next up is the big dumper, Cal Raleigh, who had a 2-run blast in the first inning yesterday with JP on board. On deck with his first home run yesterday of the season, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Let's go. And again, the best 2 games of the season were the previous 2 games, and this one looks like it may end up being that as well. Let's go. I mean, we keep winning like this, we're going to be at 500, in a blink of an eye. And then hopefully we'll be able to get above 500 and, climb our way to the top of the AL West, which I definitely think that we can. Everyone is very close, in our division. No one is, sitting right now with an incredible record like the Dodgers. Nobody's sitting, with a 13-1 record in the AL West, thank God. So it'll be easy for us to be able to climb up the standings. 0-1 pitch, Cal pops it into left field, and that is out of play. Sweeper, 81 miles an hour there by Jaden Murray. No balls and 2 strikes to big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Yeah, I didn't have $100 to spend, otherwise I would have, because then that's going to save you about $40, throughout the year. I'm doing the $20 a month, through Mariners TV, but if you had the $99.99 at the time, you're going to save money. Because for me, for the whole year, I'm probably going to end up paying $120 or $140. So for you to pay $99, you're actually going to be saving some money throughout the year. So you made a good move. Pitch is high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to big dumper, Cal Raleigh. 1-2 pitch, high and inside with a 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour there by Murray. 2 balls and 2 strikes to big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Come on, Cal. Cal Raleigh in the box. Julio Rodriguez on deck. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 2-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss, and down goes Cal Raleigh. We leave him stranded, but we still bring another run home. And again, if we were able to capitalize on all the guys on base, maybe the game would be like 9-0 right now. But I think Mariner fans will take a 4-0 lead based on what's happened to us, in this 2026 season. And we already won the first 2 games in the set against the Astros. Great job, Seattle. Unfortunately, with the Seahawks, depending on if you have cable or satellite, there's going to be some games that will be on CBS and Fox, but also, you're going to have to get Prime if you want to watch the Prime broadcast on Thursday night if they're on there. Maybe there's a game on Netflix, so you might have to have that. So there's not going to be a package, through the NFL that you're going to get all the games. The NFL is going to try to milk every dollar out of its fans, and you're going to have to, pay for those particular services. Now, a majority of the Hawks games, if you live in Oregon and Washington, will be on Fox, but there are going to be a few primetime games, whether it's Monday night, or Thursday night or Sunday night, where you may, have to end up getting something else to watch it like Netflix or Prime. End of the 3rd inning, 4-0 Mariners. Let's see who's up next here for the Astros in the top of the 4th. Next up for the Astros in the top of the 4th, leading off at second base, 1 for 1, a thorn in our side, Jose Altuve. Batting second, 0 for 1 with a K, DHing in the 2-hole, had a home run in Game 1 and a home run in Game 2. Don't even think about it in Game 3, Yordan Alvarez. And batting third, 0 for 1, third baseman in the 3-hole, Isaac Paredes. Gained another sub since the last commercial break. 68 subs to go to 23,800. 4-0 Mariners. Man, it feels good, to actually have a lead and playing like we, thought we would play. All right, we're at 90 likes. We're almost there. 10 more likes to get to 100. Logan Gilbert looking very sharp here today. First pitch to Altuve, crushes it into deep center field. Julio Rodriguez is there. And that is one away. We can always trust Julio Rodriguez to get the job done there in center field. Nice job, Julio. You're the man. Great to have a guy that you can trust in the outfield, at least in one spot out of the three. Next up for the Astros, 0 for 1 with a K, Yordan Alvarez. Logan Gilbert on the mound, Yordan Alvarez in the box. Hawks, me too. I've been doing this for 14 years. This is my 10th year on YouTube, and, I plan on doing this for the rest of my life. And, there's people that have mentioned they, feel that this channel is deserving of more subs, and we just got to keep grinding away. And, we got great fans that, have been a part of this channel for years and years, and a lot of newbies that have been fantastic as well. 0-1 pitch that's popped up to shallow center field. Look at the hustle by Julio Rodriguez. Randy would never dare run that fast and get that ball. Nice job by Julio getting it done again, and that is 2 away. But again, I had short-term goals, of 25K and then 50K, and then long-term goals of 75K and 100K. And a lot of people that have those goals, may not achieve those goals depending on the talent and the passion and everything that you need to be able to get there. But I definitely believe in myself and believe in the people that are a part of this channel, that I know one day we will, be able to get to 100K subs. It may take us a while, but again, if the Mariners continue to, do big things and, we actually get to a World Series and win, we could end up making a massive jump on this channel if that happens. Not only once, but maybe even twice. 1-0 pitch from Gilbert to Paredes, high and inside with that cutter, 92 miles an hour. 2 balls and no strikes from Gilbert to Paredes, top of the 4th inning with nobody on and 2 outs. Two-0 pitch. In there for a strike, high and inside, 4-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour by Logan Gilbert. 2 balls and 1 strike to Isaac Paredes. Yeah, I've thought, of Twitch and other, opportunities, but again, I think that as far as, sports and an audience, this is my home, and I'm not going to say I'm going to always be exclusive to just YouTube, but I've definitely made a name for myself on here. And Paredes hits one there into left field, ground ball to Randy, and a nice single there by Isaac. And again, in the future, is it possible, that other, platforms may see my work? Maybe, but again, there's a reason that I don't have a TikTok channel. There's a reason I don't have a Twitch channel. And again, I like YouTube. I've built, my platform here. It's been a lot of hard work and a lot of, blood, sweat, and tears. And, I want to be able to see it through, on this platform. So next up is Christian Walker, and plus Twitch is usually more for video games, is there people on there that do other things than video games on Twitch? Yes, but I feel that, the audience for sports is better on YouTube than any other platform that's out there. One 0 pitch from Gilbert to Christian Walker. Big swing and a miss right down the middle. Slider, 86 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike to Christian Walker. Logan Gilbert on the mound. Christian Walker in the box. One pitch, low and at the knees. 4-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour. 2 balls and 1 strike to Christian Walker. And I know I can multi-stream on other platforms. I mean, I could always put it on like Facebook and Twitter as well, Twitter/X, but I liking it, exclusively on YouTube. So that's my preference. 2-1 pitch. And that one is fouled out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Walker. Yeah, but, I've already, done things like that in the past. And, usually you don't really get a lot of support. Facebook is more for photos, and Instagram, same type of thing. Again, if you have friends, or acquaintances, a lot of times they're not going to support you. So, and I don't want to fill people's timelines up with something that they don't want to see. So 2-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss, and down goes Christian Walker. and that is out number 3. Nice job there by Logan Gilbert. Let's take a look at his stat line. 4 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 4 Ks, 45 pitches, 31 strikes with a 4.35 ERA. Came into the game, obviously, with a higher ERA of 5.40 with an 0-2 record. Start number 3, he didn't get the win, but played better. And this is the best start that he's had. And this is kind of the start that we were hoping for at the opening day against the Cleveland Guardians. Let's see who's up next year for the Mariners in the bottom of the 4th inning. Next up, 0 for 1 with an RBI, a base on ball, and a K, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Batting second, 0 for 1 with a base on ball, first baseman Josh Naylor. And batting third, 2 for 2 with a run and an RBI, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Gained 3 more subs since the last commercial break. 65 subs do 23,800. And again, there's always an opportunity where, you can stream to these other platforms, but, with Facebook, a lot of times you don't even see your friends' posts on there. It's like ads. Sometimes you will never see certain people's posts because there's a certain algorithm. And I feel like on Twitter/X, a lot of it's bots, and people that you don't even really interact with that aren't even really your friends. They might be your followers, but they're not going to actually, support you. It's just people that are on there. It's just a number, but I don't think it's really real, and then obviously if you go to Instagram, it's more for photos and shorts and whatnot. So, every platform has kind of a niche, whether it's be with YouTube shorts or with Instagram reels or with TikTok, but that's not what we're about here, and I want to make sure that we have a certain type of community here, and you're going to get, real people here. Yeah, there's going to be haters, as we get bigger and bigger, just like any channel, but I think being exclusive on YouTube is the way to go. 0-1 pitch from Christian Roa there to Julio Rodriguez, high and away. Astros with the pitching change. 1 ball and 1 strike to Julio Rodriguez. Julio pops it up. And Isaac makes the catch there at third base, and that is 1 away. Next up in the 4 hole, obviously for the Astros would be Christian Walker, but for us, our full hitter, 0 for 1 with a base on ball, first baseman Josh Naylor. One of the poorest hitters, in the game. Again, just not having a lot of patience in the box. And we'll see if that will change. Took a walk, in his first at-bat, but then ended up flying out in the second at-bat. First pitch, takes a strike looking, and he'll go with an ABS challenge here, which is rare for Josh. Let's see what happens here. And call confirmed. Naylor loses the challenge. Naylor is probably the last person on planet Earth that should be challenging anything, considering he's bottom 2 in baseball and hitting. So I don't think he's earned the right to challenge yet. I mean, unless it's an obvious thing, but 0-1 pitch, takes a strike looking low and at the knees. No balls and 2 strikes to Josh Naylor. But I still love him, We got to hope that Naylor gets better. He definitely was a fan favorite and a big reason why we got as far as we did last year, picking him up. 0-2 pitch, high and away. 4-seam fastball, 98 miles an hour there by Roa. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Josh Naylor. 1-2 pitch, high and away. 4-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour to Josh Naylor. 2 balls and 2 strikes. With nobody on and 1 out, bottom of the 4th, 4-0 Mariners. 2-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Nasty slider there by Roa, and that is 2 away. Next up for the Mariners in the 5 hole, having a good game today. 2 for 2 with a run and an RBI, Randy Arozarena. First pitch, low and away with a slider, 88 miles an hour, 1-0 count. One 0 pitch, takes a strike looking, low and away, sinker 96 miles an hour, 1 ball and 1 strike to Randy Arozarena. One pitch, big swing and a miss as he falls out of the batter's box. Kind of a Julio Rodriguez wild swing from last year. Slider 89 miles an hour there by Christian Roa. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. One-two pitch, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. I know my best friend Justin and his dad, they got odd pizza, at the Mariner game. It's like deep dish, and it was amazing, he said. So I imagine that'll be something that I'll try when we go, obviously on the 4th of July. A little slow dribbler. Randy running to third. No, running to first with a semi-hustle, and he is out, and that is out number 3. Arozarena grounds out to second, and we have a 4-0 lead. Let's see who's up next here for the Astros in the top of the 5th. Next up for the Astros, 0 for 1 with a K, right fielder Cam Smith. Batting second, 0 for 1 in the 6-hole, left fielder Joey Loperfido. And batting third, 0 for 1 in the 7-hole, catcher Yanier Diaz. $65 subs to go to 23,800. All right, we broke 100. Awesome. We're at 103. $103 likes, 97 to 100. Maybe that might be it. I don't know. I'll have to look at the the photo that he sent me. Okay, there we go. I could have swore I saw the box that he sent me the picture that it said odd pizza, but First pitch from Logan Gilbert to Cam Smith. Takes a strike looking, high and inside. 85 miles an hour there by Logan Gilbert. 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, low and away with the curveball. 81 miles an hour there by Logan Gilbert. 1 ball and 1 strike to Cam Smith. One pitch, low and at the knees on pitch 2, and high and inside with a strike looking with the curveball. 79 miles an hour, high and inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cam Smith. On the 4th of July, they, obviously this was from a couple years ago. I started to try to, clean it and whatnot, but it didn't fully dry, as you can see on the broadcast there. So I used a blow dryer to, first tried to clean it, with the toothbrush and whatnot. And obviously I didn't get it fully dried and whatnot, but I'll probably do that after the broadcast as Smith flies out to center. And I can show you, the one that I got from last year I haven't worn on the channel yet. Maybe I've wore it like once, maybe in a spring training game, but it's a pretty clean hat. And they're doing a bucket hat for the 4th of July this year. I didn't get a chance to get the captain's hat that we've seen Victor Robles wear, which was pretty cool. My buddy did get one with his dad, though, and I wouldn't mind rocking that. And I do have a old school Mariner batting helmet from when I was a kid, with the Mariner blue with the yellow S on it that I might rock on the channel at one point or another. So, but lately, when the Mariners do giveaways, whether it's a bobblehead or a hat, usually they end up being pretty decent. So 0-1 pitch from Gilbert to Loperfido, low and away, change up 87 miles an hour there by Logan Gilbert. 1 ball and 1 strike to Joey Loperfido. One pitch, little dribbler, and right to Cole Young, throw to first, and that is 2 away. Now, I'm not going to live stream at the game because I don't want to be that annoying person that you see, like on TikTok and Instagram, where you see these people that are like, live streamers and they're just annoying, and people want to enjoy the game. And again, if I want to be able to get a ball, I can't be on my phone at all. So again, it would be a cool thing, if you weren't going to annoy people around you, but unfortunately, influencers have ruined it for a lot of, people that are actually good, normal human beings. So, and you don't get a really good signal inside of the stadium either, even regardless of the phone provider that you have. So I want to respect the people that are around me, and I'd rather chest bump and high five and, pay attention to the game and, try to get a foul ball than trying to be annoying on my phone. So, I have to have respect for other people, which is something that most people don't have anymore, it seems like. First pitch is fouled off by Diaz. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Yanier Diaz. I mean, if there was a way to not annoy people, where I could actually kind of call the game while I'm watching it, in my own little area, when no one else really is around me besides my best friend, then that's a different story, being able to kind of call the game on an alternate broadcast at the game or something, but, until that day happens, I'm going to enjoy, my time on the 4th of July with my best friend. So pitch is low and away on pitch 2 and high and inside on pitch 3. 2-1 pitch, low and away again, slider 86 miles an hour, 3 balls and 1 strike to Yanier Diaz. Top of the 5th inning with nobody on and 2 outs, 4-0 Mariner lead. Yeah, my buddy got a picture with the Ichiro statue, and I'll try to get a photo or 2 of me and him, and a hard hit ball into deep left field, back, and gone. And Yanier Diaz finally gets the Astros on the board, but I guess that we have to be happy it was only a solo dinger rather than a 2-run blast, a 3-run jack, or a grand salami. But again, nice job there by Yanier Diaz. Unfortunate, that Logan Gilbert finally gave up a home run, but again, he's done a great job so far with a 4-1 lead. And nice job there by Yanier Diaz by finally getting the Astros on the board. Next up, the former Seattle Mariner and the 8-hole center fielder, Taylor Trammell. Yeah, I'll never live stream from a game, not even if it's pregame. I like to walk around the stadium. I like to interact with people. I like to be able to look at the team store. I like to be able to look at the displays where they have the bats from Ichiro and things, all the old school bobbleheads. I like to make my rounds, as well as eat and relax and kind of just soak in the environment because I'm grinding on this channel, doing 99.999% of the games. I usually only get to go to 1 or 2 games a year. So, not that I don't care about social media and people that are a part of this channel, I'll still post a couple photos, on Twitter/X, Instagram, primarily, and Facebook, but, I want to make sure I'm enjoying my time. So 0-1 pitch, takes a strike looking low and away. No balls and 2 strikes to Taylor Trammell. 0-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Nice job by Logan Gilbert after giving up the home run to Yanier Diaz. Gets a big punch out on Taylor Trammell. Nice way to bring that electricity and kind of hone in on your skill set and not let that home run, ruin your day. Nice job there by Logan Gilbert. 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 5 Ks, only gave up the 1 home run, 60 pitches, 41 strikes, and by far the best game he's had so far this year. Now let's see if we can get that run back here by our offense and make it 5-1 in the bottom of the 5th. Next up for the Mariners, 1 for 2 with a run, right fielder in the 6th hole, Luke Raley. Batting second, 0 for 0 with a run and 2 walks, shortstop J.P. Crawford. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a base on ball, DHing in the 8th hole, the Italian stallion, Dominic Canzone. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. All right, we're at 111 likes, 89 to 200. But one of the regulars on the channel that's from Canada, Lauren, is going to the 4th of July game. He's making the trip from Canada to that 4th of July game. So I do plan on meeting up with him, and I'll be able to take a photo and post that on Instagram or Facebook on social media. Hopefully we'll be able to link up at pregame. Before the game starts, he's going to be going with his wife and kids. So again, anybody that goes to a game where I'm going to, I don't mind, taking a photo or having a conversation and, linking up for, a food or, a beverage or whatnot. So it just kind of depends on, how many people and, what, time we're talking about. So first pitch from Roa to Rayleigh on a 0-1 pitch and a nice line drive on pitch number 2 into right field. Nice job there by Luke Rayleigh. Change up 89 miles an hour, missing there by Roa, and Luke Rayleigh taking full advantage. Nice job by Luke. Next up is J.P. Crawford. First pitch is low and away. Slider 87 miles an hour there by Christian Roa. 1-0 count. Throw to first, and Rayleigh just gets back in time. 1 ball and no strikes to J.P. Crawford. Bottom of the 5th, runner at first, Luke Rayleigh, with no outs, 4-1 Seattle lead. Bullard in the building, what's good? 1-0 pitch, high and away, four-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour there by Christian Roa. 2 balls and no strikes with a runner at first, Luke Rayleigh, with no outs. Bottom of the 5th, Mariners in control, 4-1 so far. Two-0 pitch, high and away, four-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour by Christian Roa. 3 balls and no strikes to J.P. Crawford. 3-0 pitch inside, and that ends up being a 4-pitch walk. Nice job there by J.P. Crawford. Super patient in the box today. We love that. Next up, 0 for 1 with a base on ball, DHing in the 8 hole, Dominic Canzone. Yeah. I've never streamed at a game, ever, and I don't think I ever will, Plus, also, I don't typically, get hammered, when you go to games, because if you end up eating too much or drinking too much, you'll never get a ball, and, if you want to be able to get a foul ball or a home run ball, you got to have your head on a swivel. And if you're just scarfing down food or throwing back beers and drinks, there's just no way. You got a half second to make that, quick movement, to be able to get yourself in position for a ball. I've been to like 9 games and I've gotten 3 baseballs. But also when, the AAA affiliate for the Twins, were the Portland Beavers here in Oregon, I was able to get 2 baseballs when I was 10. So, I kind of have a knack of how to get a baseball at a game without running anybody over. I'm not going to steal one from a kid. I'm not going to knock anybody over. I'm not going to be that drunk idiot. I'm going to be able to get it cleanly. But there is type of a strategy on how to get a ball at a game. 1-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss, and down goes Dominic Canzone with that nasty slider by Christian Roa. And that is 1 away. But on the flip side, my best friend has been to like 50 to 60 games between the Dodgers and the Mariners, and he's never gotten a ball. So I would love to be able to get a ball for him, obviously if he can't get one himself, but he usually lets me have the aisle seat. So that way I can go up and down, 5 rows down, 5 rows up if needed, and I'm pretty fast. So, again, and you have to be fast if you want to be able to try to get a ball. And we typically don't sit in the outfield. We sit off first base. So it's a great, spot, section 119 to 121 behind the Mariner dugout. And you want to be about 15, 20 rows back for trajectory. And that is popped up into left field. And that is 2 away. Down goes Cole Young. And next up is Brendan Donovan. I was hoping Cole was going to be able to work that count a little bit more there with runners at first and second, but not that time around. Next up, 0 for 1 with a run and an RBI and a K, Brendan Donovan. First pitch is high and away with a slider, 86 miles an hour, 1-0 count. I've had a drunk guy try to box me out from getting a ball before, and, people get threatened, and whatnot. But again, sometimes it's a little bit of luck on where you're sitting, but also, if you have the awareness, to be able to, maneuver without hurting anybody or knocking anyone's food or beverage over. The last thing that you want to be is that guy, running over a few people and knocking over their beers and whatnot. So 2-0 pitch, and Donovan pops it up into foul territory, just like where Cole Young fouled out, almost identical spot. And that is, unfortunately, out number 3. We leave 2 stranded, but we still got a 3-run lead. And let's go to the top of the 6th inning and see who's up next here for the Houston Astros. Yeah, I mean, one thing is for sure, on this stream, I'm not going to stream anywhere other than YouTube. And number 2, I'm never going to run over any kids to get a ball, but I definitely know the tricks of the trade to get one. Let's go to the top of the 6th inning and see who's up next here for the Houston Astros. Next up for the Astros, 0 for 1 in the 9-hole, former Atlanta Brave, now shortstop for the Houston Astros, Nick Allen. Nice headband. Batting second, 1 for 2, second baseman, Jose Altuve. And batting third, 0 for 2 with a K, DHing Yordan Alvarez. Pride ants up, let's go M's, and Rick Riz is loving it in the booth. Shout out to Riz. This is our 50th anniversary, just like the Seahawks had their 50th anniversary and they ended up winning the Super Bowl. It's our 50th anniversary. Let's see what we can do this year. And he's been on the radio 40 plus years. This is his last year, and I couldn't think of a better way to send him out on a victory in the World Series. End of the 5th inning, 4-1 Seattle. $65 subs to go, do 23,800. And we're at 116 likes, 84 to 200. And we're at 10 on the Dono train, 90 to go. And after we get to the end of the top of the 6th, I'll grab that other 4th of July hat from last year. It's actually a pretty sweet looking hat, and I will rock it at some point on the channel. And I'm kind of curious to see what this bucket hat is going to look like that we're going to get on the 4th of July. 0-1 pitch, check swing. Did Nick Allen go? No, he did not. Slider 85 miles an hour, 1 ball and 1 strike from Gilbert to Allen. But this is the 4th of July hat that we had from 2 years ago when we played the Orioles when they were a playoff team. Then we went to go see the Pirates, but we missed Skeens by like 1 game, which was unfortunate, but the hat was awesome. And then obviously we're going to go see the Toronto Blue Jays this year. So kind of a tradition, you know, and there was other options, you know, to go to games and whatnot. Like we could have went on my birthday for the Randy Johnson celebration game against the Royals, but I've already seen the Royals before with Bobby Witt Jr. when I got the Julio ball in his rookie year, but I've never seen the Blue Jays. So, you know, it definitely will have a lot of people from Canada, you know, coming down to the game, and it should be pretty intense. So I'm looking forward to it. 1-2 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nick Allen. You know, plus it's always exciting when you know you possibly could lose, and you know, you want to, you know, have that challenge of facing a good team. 2-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, and another punch out there by Logan Gilbert, my man. Nice job there by Logan Gilbert, and that is his 6th K. Fantastic. 65 pitches, 44 strikes, 6 Ks, and he's only given up 1 solo dinger. And again, too bad this didn't happen in the first game of the season versus the Cleveland Guardians. You know, he definitely has had a rough start. You know, out of all the pitchers that have struggled, he's number 10 as far as worst ERA. And we know Naylor is bottom 2 in hitting. But again, those guys will get better, you know, and just like when we were the worst hitting team in baseball with a team batting average of 188 a few days ago, we're starting to slowly but surely, you know, go in that right direction. But it also helps that we're playing one of the worst pitching teams in baseball and our rival, the Houston Astros. But we'll take it. 1-0 pitch. A hard hit ball there into left field. Oh no, it's going to Randy's area. Run, Randy, you lazy ass. And Randy jogs to the ball. Little lob like he always does. And a single turns into a double because it's Randy Arozarena. What do you expect? Nice double there by Jose Altuve. Next up, in the 2-hole, DHing Yordan Alvarez. And we got to be careful here. We don't want Yordan to hit a home run and make it 4-3. You know, if it ends up, you know, being that, you know, it definitely is going to be, you know, spoiling the party, so to speak, you know, for Logan Gilbert, who's been pretty good here today. Yeah, I mean, there's places, Brett, that you can go to, like the J-Rod squad and whatnot, but I don't like, you know, going to those particular areas. I want to be able to sit in an area where I'm going to be able to get a ball, and then it just so happens there's like a bobblehead day or a hat giveaway, then, you know, I can end up doing exactly what I want. Sit where I want, get the giveaway, and potentially bring a ball home. So, you know, but again, for the people that like to be able to sit in those other areas to grab like a J-Rod squad t-shirt or something like that, you know, those are cool places to sit, but I typically will never sit in a place like that. Usually for me, you know, off first base or third base, because that's the best place that you have a chance to get a ball, unless you're just lucky enough to be sitting in the right spot in the outfield and somebody home runs. 2-0 pitch, and that is low and away. 3 balls and no strikes to Yordan Alvarez. Now, if I lived in Seattle and I was able to go to a lot of games, yeah, then I would be sitting, you know, in the outfield, behind the plate, you know, all these different areas. But, you know, if I'm only going once a year, I got to make sure I take advantage of the best place to sit to potentially get a ball. So 3-0 pitch, and that is a 4-pitch walk. Uh-oh. Come on, Gilbert. Don't shit the bed here. You've already given up a home run to Yanier Diaz, and now we have a mound visit with JP and others, and hopefully we'll be able to get a double play here. We need a slow dribbler up the middle, double play, toe tap on the bag, and hopefully the game will still be 4-1 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Logan Gilbert on the mound, and Isaac Paredes there in the box. And we got a mound visit by the whole team here. He's at 71 pitches, 45 strikes, but we know Dan Wilson, he tries to push guys, to the limit. And obviously Gilbert right now is maybe not as bad as Castillo was at this point, but I wouldn't mind taking him out right now. You already got guys at first and second. I hope we get the double play, and I hope it's not 4-2, 4-3, but we'll see if Logan can get one more out, and maybe they'll pull him if we get 2 outs unless we get the double play. First pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle. That's a good one. Curveball, 80 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Oh, 0-1 pitch. Ooh. Low and away, but we get the call. Good location there by Gilbert after throwing 4 straight balls, back-to-back strikes. That's something that Luis Castillo, a.k.a. La Piedra, would have not been able to do yesterday. No balls and 2 strikes, and now we have a chance for a pop-up, a ground out, or potentially, I hope, a double play. I'll take a strikeout as well if we can get it. Come on, Logan. 0-2 pitch. Dribbler towards third. Here we go. Double play. Got it. And there we go. You ask for the double play. You get the double play. He started to get a little shaky, not as bad as Luis Castillo. And now we can feel comfortable, if he ends up exiting the game, unless they want to push him, one more inning. But again, pitch count is still relatively low. It's only 74. But I think that it would be safe to say none of us would mind if he ends up calling it a day. Nice job there by Logan, and great job by the defense. All right, here's the 4th of July hat that was from last year. It's been in a bag, so I usually keep all my stuff, protected. But this one is clean. It's a red bill, white in the front with red stripes, blue S, and then on the back, it's got the kind of trucker style, with the holes in the back, but not big holes, small holes, and it's blue. Pretty clean hat. And lately, the Mariners have been very good, with their bobbleheads and their hats. I mean, if some teams, the baubles don't look like, the players, and sometimes the hats are ugly. But I'll, say for sure, being firsthand, going to games and getting baubles and hats primarily, they're fire. More times than not, I've never gotten a bad hat at a game from the Mariners, and I've never gotten a bad bauble either. So, and again, I didn't get a chance to get the Sailors cap that they ended up having, but my best friend and his dad did, the one that Victor Robles would wear, and a few others that, maybe at some point I'll grab one on eBay or something. But, Mariners are usually pretty good with their giveaways. They usually don't give away, crap items to the fans, and we have to be thankful for that. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th. Next up is the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And first pitch to Cal Raleigh, a little slow dribbler, and he's grounds out to second, throw to first, and that is 1 away. Work the count, my guy. Come on, Cal. We didn't even get a chance to see you kind of, get into a rhythm to potentially get a hit or home run. Next up is Julio Rodriguez, and on deck is Josh Naylor. First pitch is high and inside to Julio Rodriguez, 1-0 count. Vapor in the building, what's good? Mike in the building, what's good? One-0 pitch. Takes a strike there on the line. Slider, 86 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike from Christian Roa to Julio Rodriguez. Bottom of the 6th, 4-1 Mariners. We're at 10 on the Dono train so far, 90 to go. We broke 100 likes, so we're doing good on that end. Julio with a slow dribbler up the middle, and it just gets by him. Let's go. And Julio Rodriguez with a beautiful single in those Seattle Steelhead uniforms. Nice job, J-Rod. Great job by Julio Rodriguez. Nick Allen, not a chance. Next up is Josh Naylor. Now, for the love of God, Josh, take some fucking pitches. You took a walk, right? You're the second worst hitter in the game. It seems like every time you get up to the plate, more times than not, you pop up or ground out off the first pitch, sometimes the second pitch. But it would be nice for you to get to actually pitch 4, pitch 5, pitch 6, where you actually could maybe get a hit off a good pitch, in your area. But, we'll see if Naylor will listen. After he ended up taking a walk, he ended up swinging at the first pitch and getting out in his second at-bat. So 0 for 2 with a base on ball and a K. First pitch is high and away, 1-0 count to Josh Naylor. Come on, Josh. You're too good of a player to be one of the worst hitters in baseball. But it shows you if players are stubborn and they're not willing to change, sometimes a really good player can have bad stats. Logan Gilbert coming into the game was out of the worst 10 pitchers in the game, he was number 10 with a 5.40 ERA, but we know he's going to get better, as the season goes on, obviously with his ERA. Same thing with Naylor with his hitting. And 2-0 pitch, and Naylor gets hit, and he goes down on all fours, and he's planking there on the ground, and looks like he's going to shake it off, and he's okay. And Josh Naylor now making his way to first base and gets hit on the ankle there, and it drops him all the way down onto his stomach. Next up, in the 5-hole, left fielder Randy Arozarena, who's been very productive today, 2 for 3 with a run and an RBI. First pitch to Randy, big swing and a miss, high and inside, sinker at 96 miles an hour by Christian Roa, 0-1 count. Oh-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, four-seam fastball, high and inside by Roa, trying to jam Randy, and it's working so far. No balls and 2 strikes with runners at first and second and 1 out. Bottom of the 6th, 4-1 Seattle. Trident's up, let's go M's. 2-0 pitch, hard hit ball, and Randy is on fire. One of the best games of the year. Run home, sliding in at home, and out, damn it. Julio Rodriguez getting overly aggressive. Should have probably stayed at third base there, and that is 2 away. What a throw there by Cam Smith. He should have known better. Cam Smith has got that laser arm like Julio does, and Julio from second base got a little greedy there. And where's the third base coach to tell him not to go? Should have stayed at third. And Randy having a great game. Obviously, we know his defense is a liability, but as far as hitting the ball today, Randy has been magnificent. Next up, 2 for 3 with a run, right fielder Luke Raley. And when they showed the replay, there wasn't even a third base coach to tell Julio to stop. Bottom of the 6th, runners on the corners with 2 outs. Luke Raley in the box, Christian Roa on the mound. We've already won the first 2 games in the series. Hopefully we'll be able to get the dub here. And we got George Kirby on the mound tomorrow for a early afternoon game on Monday at 1:10 Pacific, same time as today. First pitch into Luke Raley, high and away, four-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour by Christian Roa, 1-0 count. Hard hit ball by Luke Raley. There we go. That brings home a run. Josh Naylor ends up scampering home. 5-1 Mariners. And another run comes home. Safe. Let's go. Randy comes home, and he does something that Julio couldn't do. He ends up being safe at home, and Randy got a little greedy, trying to get that extra one, but it ends up working out for us, thank God, and it ends up being 6-1 Mariners. If Julio would have been safe, it would have been 7-1, but we'll take it. Let's go. Trident's up. Let's go M's. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Hell yeah. Nice job there by Luke. Big RBI. And we're going to have a pitching change. Let's go. Fantastic. And again, not every play is going to go your way. You know, Julio wasn't able, to end up sliding into at home, but you got to give Cam Smith some love, with that laser throw, but he wasn't able to do it then. And again, Randy Arozarena, maybe having one of the best games, in 2026, hasn't made any bad plays in left field, which is surprising. It might be the first game. Hopefully, we're still a few innings away from it being over for him to make a mistake in left field. But as far as being in the box and being productive, 3 for 4 day, arguably his best game of the season. Nice job. 2 runs, 1 RBI. Randy, I see you. Rick Riz, he loves it. And next up, 0 for 0 with a run and 3 walks, J.P. Crawford, who had the game-winning RBI last night, and we love that. Down 7-2, no problem. We come back and win 8-7. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. All right, De Los Santos is coming in. Trying to see if I can find a good one of De Los Santos, but most of these are not very good. Let's see if I can find at least one, though. And J.P. Crawford pops up on the first pitch after the commercial break, and that is out number 3. But not after. We end up putting up 2 runs there in the bottom of the 6th. 6-1 Mariners. All right, let's see how this De Los Santos photo looks. See if it formats or not for me. Let's look at the resolution. Let's see if this is worthy of the channel. All right, Christian Roa, your day is done. And see, that's too small. So you see the scoreboard up above. So sometimes they end up not formatting right. So, the resolution was pretty good, but we got to have it look clean on the channel. All right, end of the 6th inning. Let's go to the top of the 7th and see who is up next here for the Houston Astros. Next up, 0 for 2 with a K in the 4-hole, first baseman Christian Walker. Batting second, 0 for 2 with a K, right fielder Cam Smith. And batting third, 0 for 2 in the 6-hole, left fielder Joey Loperfido. And at the moment, it looks like they're going to keep Logan Gilbert out for maybe one more inning. 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 6 Ks. He's only at 74 pitches. And they're on their 4th pitcher, Bolton, Murray, Roa, De Los Santos, and it looks like they're going to keep Logan in potentially for at least an out or 2, maybe waiting until he gets to pitch 80 or above in the pitch count, and was able to get out of the jam with a beautiful double play, and he's only given up 1 home run. He's been very clean today. Houston only has 4 hits, and or is he going to end up exiting here? Maybe they haven't updated it. No, I think he's going to go out now. No, he's still in. Wow, he's still in. All right, they're going to go one more inning or try to get one more inning out of him. First pitch is high and inside, 1-0 count. He might not finish the inning. He might only get 1 or 2 outs and then they'll pull him. But, as long as we still have a 5-run lead, I don't care. One 0 pitch. Big swing and a miss. 4-seam fastball there. 95 miles an hour there by Logan Gilbert. 1 ball and 1 strike to Christian Walker. 1-1 pitch. Hard hit ball, four-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour, going out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Christian Walker. Logan Gilbert on the mound. Christian Walker in the box. And Walker calls time. And if we can hang on to this win, this would be our first series win. But again, if we can win this game, then we're going to be looking for a sweep tomorrow with George Kirby on the bump. 1-2 pitch, check swing. Did he go? And they say he did not. Splitter low and away, 82 miles an hour there by Logan Gilbert. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Christian Walker. Two-two pitch, popped up. And well, Logan Gilbert would take that. Cole Young is there. And that is 1 away. Good defense there by the Mariners. And the longer that we can have a pitcher in, then, less chance of a guy coming in to kind of fuck it up for us in the bullpen, even though most of the guys, Bazardo, Brash, Jose Ferrer, pretty trustworthy. But then after that, with like Gabe Spire, kind of untrustworthy, Casey Legomina, same thing. But with that being said, some of the shaky guys actually played pretty well last night. So you just never know. And it also depends if you have a lead or not. That definitely helps. First pitch to Cam Smith. Fouls that one off high and inside. 0-1 count. Logan Gilbert on the mound. And Cam Smith, the right fielder, in the box. Good hitter and a great defender there in right field for Houston. Oh, 1 pitch. A little dribbler towards third base. Throw to first. And that is 2 away. Yeah, so I didn't even see Cam Smith in the frame of the base path. He just kind of sat there. Maybe he thought it was foul. Next up in the 6th hole, left fielder Joey Loperfido. And good defense there by Brendan Donovan. Great to have him back after missing a few games with the flu. But J.P. Crawford has been magnificent, taking his place at leadoff, especially being the hero last night with the game-winning RBI. First pitch to Joey Loperfido, takes a strike looking high and away with a cutter, 93 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch. Takes a strike right down the middle. Four-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour. No balls and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Loperfido. But starting pitching is usually pretty damn good for us. Bullpen is usually pretty damn good. Defense is good. Really hitting was like the only thing that we needed to improve on. And obviously when you play a team that has been, pitching poorly, we definitely have been able to take advantage. And, this is exactly what we needed. 0-2 pitch. Low and away. Splitter getting away from Logan Gilbert there. 81 miles an hour, about 5 feet off the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Joey Loperfido. Let's see if Logan can get 1 more out, and then we assume, this will be it for him. He's at 84 pitches, 55 strikes. 1-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Nice job, Logan. Way to finish, man. Again, best start of the year for Logan Gilbert. First 2 starts, terrible. Third start, he didn't get the win, but he played much better. And then today, the final line, 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 home run by Yanier Diaz, but we can live with that. 1 walk, 7 Ks, 85 pitches, 56 strikes, 4.18 ERA. Great job, Logan Gilbert. And he gets a standing ovation from a good majority of the fans at the ballpark. Well deserved. Nice job by Logan Gilbert. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 7th inning and see who's up next here for the Seattle Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 2 with a base on ball and a K, DHing Dominic Canzone, the Italian Stallion. Batting second, 0 for 1 with an RBI and 2 base on balls. Second baseman Cole Young. And batting third, 0 for 2 with a run, RBI, and a K. Third baseman, welcome back, Brendan Donovan. Let's go. 6-1 Mariners. Trident's up. We gained 2 subs since the last commercial break. Thank you so much. We're in the 7th inning stretch. 63 subs to go to 23,800. All right, we're at 130 likes, 70 more to 200. All right, quick recap in the game. Bottom of the first inning, Randy Arozarena singled to center. Donovan scored 1-0 Mariners. Bottom of the second, Julio walked. Crawford scored from third, 2-0 Mariners. Bottom of the third, Young walked. Arozarena scored, 3-0 Mariners. Bottom of the third again, Donovan hit a sac fly to right. Rayleigh scored, 4-0 Mariners. In the top of the fifth, Yanier Diaz homered off Logan Gilbert. 372 feet in left field, 4-1 Mariners. And then Rayleigh with a big double to right. Arozarena scored and Naylor scored, making it 6-1 Mariners. And then we just saw the exit of Logan Gilbert. 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 7 Ks, 85 pitches, 56 strikes with a 4.18 ERA. And we're about to potentially, if we can finish it off here in the last couple innings and not have a meltdown, we're going to end up winning our first series of the year. Well deserved. And we're going to have a chance for a sweep potentially tomorrow with our guy, George Kirby, on the mound tomorrow. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. And this game will be on tomorrow in the afternoon, which is a little rare on a Monday, at 1:10 Pacific. Roy with a $5, appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. Every dollar counts. I got to take my pup to the vet, and any type of support that we can get. It usually costs me about $175 a month just to do this stream, for the internet, the streaming fee, and to pay the $20 a month, through Mariners TV. So, anything that can help, continue the dream is greatly appreciated, and I appreciate you. Bottom of the 7th inning, De Los Santos on the mound. Dominic Canzone in the box. First pitch takes a strike looking, and second pitch, a little blooper into center field, and that is caught, and that is 1 away. Taylor Trammell making a nice effort in center field, and down goes Dominic Canzone, 1 away. Come on, Dom, work the count a little bit, my guy. We love you. Down goes Dominic Canzone flying out to center. Next up, second baseman Cole Young on deck. Our guy, third baseman Brendan Donovan. And I was looking to find more steelhead photos, but unfortunately not a lot of the photographers have taken a lot of the photos. And really that Brendan Donovan is really the only one I was able to find that was good enough, resolution wise, as well as, pixelation and whatnot to put on the channel. But hopefully as we wear them on Sundays regularly, that the photographers will take more, and then we'll be able to have a full lineup of steelhead photos, I'm hoping, before the end of the season. 0-1 pitch, fouled off, right down the middle there by Cole Young. No balls and 2 strikes from De Los Santos to Cole Young. Now, Walter will be done. He won't come back in the 8th. He's already had 85 pitches. There's no need. We can have a guy come in, obviously, in the 8th, and, potentially we'll see if it's Brash or Mooney in the 9th. 0-2 pitch, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cole Young. I mean, potentially you could have 3 guys. You could have Munoz, who's the normal guy to end the game. You could always have Brash come in to end the game. And then if you don't want those 2, you could go Bizzardo. So we're kind of in a good position where, you have a couple guys, even though Mooney is normally the guy, but sometimes you don't want to have a guy in there every single day, and we know that he's been a little shaky in the last, 2 save attempts. But again, we got the job done in game 1 and got the job done in game 2. 1-2 pitch is fouled off, low and at the knees by Cole Young. 1-2 pitch from De Los Santos, high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cole Young. Now, I mean, after being on a 5-game losing streak and them being on a 4-game losing streak and people bitching about the hitting, it's much worse to be terrible at pitching than it is terrible at hitting. And the Astros are proving that. 2-2 pitch. And Young pops it up. And Altuve is there, and that is 2 away. And thankfully, we're not terrible in all the categories. I mean, imagine if we were terrible at starting pitching, terrible in the bullpen, terrible at hitting, and terrible defensively, and that's not the case. So, and again, it was very shocking to see us batting so poorly as a team, but things are starting to get better. And, I do have the utmost confidence in this team. I think that we could still win the division, even with the slow start. And if we don't, we can get a wild card, but this is a playoff team. There is no doubt. First pitch from De Los Santos to Brendan Donovan, low and away. Slider, 83 miles an hour, 1-0 count. Now, obviously, injuries could derail that, but that could be said for any team. But as long as we can stay relatively healthy and with the talent that we have, this should be a team that makes the playoffs. How far we go, we don't know. But hopefully, as far as we did last year and a little bit further. Obviously, the goal is to get to the World Series, but not only to get there for the first time, but to win it. 2-0 pitch, right down the middle with a changeup, 85 miles an hour by De Los Santos, 2 balls and 1 strike to Brendan Donovan. But, with that being said, if we make the World Series, this year or next year or the following year, realistically, it'll probably be against the Dodgers. And we know that's a David and Goliath story, even though the Blue Jays almost beat them in Game 7. 2-1 pitch, popped up, and that is out number 3. Donovan pops out there into shallow left. And let's see who is up next here in the top of the 8th for the Houston Astros. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Next up, 1 for 2 with a run and an RBI, catcher Yanier Diaz. Batting second, 0 for 2 with 2 Ks, center fielder, former Mariner Taylor Trammell. And batting third, 0 for 2 with a K, shortstop Nick Allen. Trident's up, let's go M's. $63 subs to go to 23,800. All right, we're at 137 likes. We have 63 to get to 200. We got 229 in the room. Let's see if we can get 63 people out of 229 to get as close to that number to 200. And if we can't hit 200, let's see if we can get to 175 before the game is over. And we're sitting at 15 on the Dono train, 85 to go. Great job by Logan Gilbert. 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts, 1 walk. Only gave up that 1 home run to Yanier Diaz. 85 pitches, first pitch strikes, 15 for 24. Trident's up. Let's go M's. Jose Ferrer enters the game for the Seattle Mariners. First pitch is low and away with a slider, 84 miles an hour to Yanier Diaz, 1-0 count, and he was part of the Harry Ford trade. And, definitely with some of the struggles in the bullpen, it's good that we have Ferrer. Throw to first after that slow dribbler by Diaz, and that is 1 away. And a lot of us, really loved Harry Ford. but it's not like he would get a chance really to play. And obviously that would have been the backup instead of Mitch Garver, but Harry definitely deserves a chance to show what he can do. And every team's biggest weakness is the bullpen. And again, obviously we've had injuries to Carlos Vargas, starting pitcher Bryce Miller, and we need as many healthy bodies as possible to be able to continue this nice win streak for the Mariners. First pitch from Jose Ferrer to Taylor Trammell. Takes a sinker right down the middle, 95 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Come on, Jose. And Jose's got a chance to be the third best guy in the pen behind Pizzardo and Brash. And obviously, I think he's a little bit more consistent than Gabe Spire. And then we don't have a whole lot of faith in like Cooper Criswell or Casey Legomina or Cole Wilcox. But, Vargas is injured. So, we'll see how that goes when he comes back. 1-1 pitch and popped up into shallow left field. What is this? Randy actually hustling a little bit and gets the pop up there in front of Brandon Donovan. And that is 2 away. Randy woke up today, decided to have a good game. There we go. Nice job, Randy. And next up in the 9-hole, shortstop from the Atlanta Braves, Nick Allen. 0 for 2 with a K for Nick. And this is more like it. I know some of the fair weather, fans couldn't handle the start to the year. Even for some of us diehards, it was tough. Slow dribbler, throw to first, and that is out number 3. Great job there by Jose Ferrer. And again, it proves my point. He's going to be, it looks like, the third best guy. You got Pizzardo, trustworthy. Brash, trustworthy. Ferrer, trustworthy for the most part. And then everyone else after that, very hit or miss. And then obviously Mooney has been kind of shaky. But again, he hasn't blown it, at least yet. And, he had one kind of terrible game earlier in the year, whether it was the Guardians or the Yankees. I think we remember that one. And then the last 2 games almost blew it at the end. But hopefully he'll get better as the season goes on because we're going to need him. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 8th inning and see if we can pull out another run or 2 before this one is over. And it wouldn't hurt my feelings if we get another home run or RBI as well. Next up, 0 for 4 with 2 Ks, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting second, 1 for 3 with an RBI, base on ball, and a K. The best center fielder in the game, it's Julio Rodriguez. And batting third, 0 for 2 with a run, base on ball, and a K, is Josh Naylor. And Abreu is coming in, and Abreu has been shitting the bed, pretty often lately. And we'll see if we can take advantage of Abreu, who definitely had a meltdown late last night. And we ended up getting the game-winning hit by J.P. Crawford, and we all remember that. And we'll see what Brian Abreu will do here. Fanny pack hat night. Interesting. Definitely not something that you would really want to wear out in public. That might be the first ugly hat I've seen. It's either a fanny pack or a hat, but a fanny pack hat combo. I mean, even if the colors were better, it's a little ugly, but it definitely is a unique item, and I like unique items, but that one might be just a little too ugly for my taste. First pitch from Abreu to big dumper. Big swing and a miss. 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch. Cal crushes it into right field, but it goes into the 5th row. Into the right field. Foul. And that fan is absolutely loving the opportunity to get that foul ball. Nothing better than getting a foul ball from a guy like Julio or Cal. No balls and 2 strikes from Abreu to big dumper. 0-2 pitch. High and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Abreu to Cal Raleigh. Brian Abreu on the mound. Big dumper in the box. 1-2 pitch, hard hit laser towards third base, but foul. Slider 86 miles an hour there by Bryan Abreu. One-two pitch, fouls that behind the plate. Four-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour there by Abreu. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. Mariners in firm control, 6-1. And again, we already won the first 2 games in the set, the best 2 games of the year, 9-6 and 8-7. And this one feels good. 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Down goes Cal Raleigh, and that is 1 away. I mean, Cal may not have it today, but there's a good chance he might be able to do something tomorrow if he plays, whether it's catcher or DH. Next up, for the Seattle Mariners, 1 for 3 with the RBI, base on ball, and a K. The best center fielder in the game, Julio Rodriguez, who had his first home run of the season last night that we predicted on the channel. My ESP, it feels like he's not going to hit one here, but it would be nice for him to get on base with a walk or a single. 1-0 pitch. High and inside. Slider 87 miles an hour there by Abreu. 2 balls and no strikes to Julio Rodriguez. Trident's up. Let's go M's. Xavier in the building. What's good? 2-0 pitch. Hard hit ball. There we go. And there's the single that I wanted. And sometimes you get these kind of gut feelings, is it going to be a home run? Do you feel that energy, and that vibe, and also it kind of just depends, on the player and the body language and, who they're going against on the mound. And great job there by Julio on getting a late base knock. Now let's see if we can get another one here out of Josh Naylor. Might be the most impatient player in baseball. And again, if you want to go from being one of the worst hitters in baseball to start the year, bottom 2, you got to be more patient to work your way up. First pitch, low and at the knees with a slider, 1-0 count. I mean, especially be patient when you're going against shitty pitching, not good pitching. There's a difference. When you go against good pitching, no matter what you do, you might not be able to get a hit. But when you're going against bad pitching overall, don't help them out. And Naylor has definitely been helping out the Astros throughout the series, but luckily it hasn't, burned us. 1-0 pitch, fouls that one off towards first base. 1 ball and 1 strike from Abreu to Naylor. Bottom of the 8th inning, 6-1 Mariners with a runner at first and 1 out. And if we can hang on for another inning, it'll be our first series win in 2026. Trident's up. Let's go M's. And then obviously we'll be talking about a sweep tomorrow once we finish this game off here today. And we got George Kirby on the mound. So, I mean, whether it be Kirby or Woo, obviously Kirby is tomorrow. Woo would be in the next series. You definitely feel good about that. 1 ball and 1 strike from Bryan Abreu to Josh Naylor. Come on, Josh. Throw to first, and Julio is back at first base and safe. Trident's up. Let's go M's. One pitch. Outside, Julio tries to steal a bag, and he is safe. Yeah, Julio taking a look back. Should I go to third? No, you're not going to be. You already got thrown out at home, and there was no third base coach to tell him to stop. But luckily, we were able to get Randy to come in kind of a similar situation that was very close at home plate. But Seattle Steelhead uniforms being represented here today on Sundays all year, looking clean. And another stolen bag by Julio Rodriguez. Great job, J-Rod. Come on, Naylor. And part of Naylor's momentum got ripped away in the Joe Adell game, where Cal Raleigh, Josh Naylor, and J.P. Crawford all got robbed by Joe Adell. And I think if Naylor would have had that home run count, maybe things would have gotten better from that point on. But again, at some point we know Naylor will homer, and he will not get robbed by Joe Adell. There is a chance that someone else could rob it, but, that's a game that we'll probably never see again, where a guy robs 3 in one game. And we'll definitely put that behind us. 1-2 pitch. Naylor with a little slow dribbler and an easy throw to first, and down goes Naylor as Julio scampers from second to third with 2 outs. Now, the Mariners don't really have any bad uniforms, whether it's the white, the cream, the blue, the steelheads, the City Connect blue, the teal, I'm a fan of all of them. It just kind of depends if you rank them in a certain order on which ones you like more than the others. Next up is Randy Arozarena. And again, I don't think we really have any ugly uniforms, but we have, uniforms that are kind of simple looking, like the blue. That might be one of the lower ones, just because it's so simple looking, And I wouldn't mind if the grays come back, but obviously for the grays to come back, then that would mean one of the others would have to go away, like the cream, or the teal, or the blue. And so, it is what it is. First pitch is low and away from Abreu to Arozarena, who's had a great game today. 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour missing, 1-0 count. And I really do love the vested jerseys with the Russell Athletic, Ken Griffey Jr. jerseys that they wore in 95 through 97, where you had a white jersey with no sleeves, and then they had the turtlenecks to match. That was a fire look. I got one of them in the closet. 1-0 pitch. Takes a strike looking right down the middle. 1 ball and 1 strike to Randy Arozarena. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Bottom of the 8th, 6-1 Seattle. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, high and away. 4-seam fastball, 96 mile an hour, high heat by Brian Abreu. Yeah, and Abreu in the past, years ago, used to be pretty consistent, but within the last few years, not so much. And we definitely proved that last night. I saw a startling stat of him this morning. 1-2 pitch, little dribbler towards third, and just foul. Julio was definitely ready to slide into home to try to get us to 7, but that was foul. Brian Abreu on the mound. Randy Arozarena in the box. Come on, Randy. Randy having the best game out of any Mariner player besides Luke Raley. Both of them 3 for 4. Good for them. And Julio right behind them, 2 for 4 day. And we have quite a few people that are Donnie, Cal, Naylor, Crawford, Canzone, and Young, but we do have some walks from JP and a few others. 1-2 pitch, low and away, 4-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour missing. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. Trident's up, let's go M's. 2-2 pitch, Randy pops it up and ends up being foul. Slider 85 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. Trident's up. Let's go M's. 2-2 pitch. Low and at the knees. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. Brian Abreu on the mound. Randy Arozarena in the box. Best 3-game stretch that we've had all year. And again, if we can win this will be our first series win, which is way overdue. 3-2 pitch. That's popped behind the plate. 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour. High heat by Abreu. Count still full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. Trident's up. Let's go M's. 3-2 pitch. Nice eye by Randy. Wow. Not making any mistakes really in left field and having a very productive day in the box. One of the best games of the year for Randy Arozarena, which is nice that we don't have to complain about how shitty his effort is in left field defensively. Much better here today. Keep it up, Randy. Next up, actually having a fantastic day, just like Randy. 3 for 4 with a run and 2 RBIs. Right fielder Luke Raley. I could really use a nuke from Luke. Make it 9-1. Give it to me. First pitch to Luke Raley. From Abreu in there for a strike. 0-1 count. Bottom of the 8th. Runners on the corners at first and third as they Pan the camera on our boy, Rick Riz. There he is, my boy. 0-1 pitch, check swing, Randy goes. No throw to second base, and Randy is safe. We got a runner at second and a runner at third with 2 outs. There he is, the legend, the icon, Rick Riz. 0-2 pitch, low and at the knees. And they should be showing more of Rick Riz, especially being our 50th anniversary in his last season in the radio booth. You know, they should show him on screen at least once a game, every game. You know, show some love, you know, for guys, you know, like in the past with Dave Niehaus. That was absolutely fantastic. Riz on that same level. They were both local, and obviously Riz is a living legend, and we know that Niehaus is an icon. 1-2 pitch, hard hit ball towards first base, toe tap on the bag, and that is out number 3 on Luke Raley. Let's go to the top of the 9th. Last opportunity for the Astros to score 5 to tie and 6 to win. And let's hopefully we can mow them down 1, 2, 3, and we can win our first series of the year. $63 subs to go to 23,800. We're at 23,737. We've gained almost 350 subs since the beginning of the 2026 season. 327 subs, which is fantastic. We're definitely on our way. And let's take a look to see where we're at on another number of the metrics here. Looks like we're at 156 on the likes. See if we can get to 175 before this one is over. Or possibly 200. All right, we got 262 people in the room. We're at 156 likes. If we can get 44 people out of 156, we'll hit 200, and that would be fantastic. And we're at 15 on the Dono train, 85 to go. End of the 8th inning, 6-1 Mariners. And shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Let's see who's up next here for the last ditch effort for the Houston Astros. Next up for the Stros, 2 for 3, leadoff hitter, second baseman Jose Altuve. Batting second, 0 for 2 with a base on ball and a K, DHing Yordan Alvarez. And batting third in the 3-hole, third baseman, 1 for 3, Isaac Paredes. Try dance up, let's go M's. And I'm curious on who they're going to bring in here to end this game. Is it going to be Mooney? Is it going to be Brash? Is it Bizzardo? Is it still Jose Ferrer? We'll find out here in a moment. And it's going to be Cooper Criswell. Interesting. I don't know if that's the guy that I would want to end the game here, but a lot of those other Mariner pitchers have pitched a lot lately. All right, the former Red Sox, like Rob Refsnyder, coming in for the Seattle Mariners to end the game. I don't think I agree with this decision, but, you know, we know that Mooney was, you know, not looking very good. Nice jump throw to first, but not in time, and Altuve is safe at first. And it shows you that was the wrong decision on bringing Cooper Criswell to end the game. Why not bring in Brash or Bizzardo, you know, or have Jose Ferrer finish the game? I mean, it's not going to hurt him to pitch the 8th and the 9th while bringing in a shitty player, you know, like Casey Legomina or Cooper Criswell. These guys aren't good. Next up is Yordan Alvarez, but that's Dan Wilson for you. Next up is Yordan Alvarez, who homered in Game 1 and Game 2. Better not be Game 3 as well. First pitch to Yordan Alvarez, low and out the knees, sinker, 90 miles an hour, 1-0 count. You know, so besides the pitching, you know, being good and the bullpen typically being good and the defense being good, I think the things that we definitely need to improve on, which we have in this series, hitting, but the managing by Dan Wilson still is shaky at best. You know, sometimes he's good, you know, like Scott Service, but then there's times where we're thinking, what the hell are you doing? 1-0 pitch in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Yordan Alvarez. 1-1 pitch, low and away, change up 84 miles an hour. 2 balls and 1 strike from Cooper Criswell, the former Red Sox, to Yordan Alvarez. 2-1 pitch, hard hit ball, line drive, Josh Naylor, double play. Wow! And Cooper Criswell, you better buy a nice steak and lobster dinner for Josh Naylor right there, bailing your ass out. Wow. I mean, 9 times out of 10, that ends up going into right field, into Luke Raley. But look at the awareness here by Josh Naylor. It right to him. And then obviously you already had Altuve, quite a bit off the bag there. And we'll take that. One of the, cleanest double plays that you'll see. Altuve too far going to second base. And Josh Naylor, you might not be able to hit, but at least you can play some defense, and we appreciate you. Nice job. Now we're only 1 out away. Paredes there in the box. First pitch, takes a strike, looking high and away. 0-1 count. Let's go. Finish strong. 0-1 pitch, high and away with the sweeper. 78 miles an hour there by Cooper Criswell, the former Red Sox. 1 ball and 1 strike to Isaac Paredes. And obviously, game number 4 in the set will be on at an early time tomorrow, 1:10 Pacific on a Monday, which is rare, but that's where we're at. But we got George Kirby on the mound, and we're definitely looking forward to the sweep. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, and we're 1 strike away from winning our first series of the year. Let's fucking go. Everybody standing at T-Mobile. Come on, Criswell. 1-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss, and he got him. Nice job, Cooper. I was very skeptical of him coming in, but we got the job done, and it feels good. Nice job. Final score, Seattle Mariners 6. Houston Astros 1, and when the Mariners win, what do? We fucking dance. Mariners win, Mariners win, Mariners win. Fuck yeah. Our first series win of the year. Let's go over some of the stats here for the players. All right, so we got Brandon Donovan 0 for 3 with a run and an RBI. Cal Raleigh 0 for 5, which is rare. Julio 2 for 4 with an RBI. Naylor 0 for 3 with a run. Randy, one of the best games of the year offensively and defensively. I can't believe I'm saying it. 3 for 4 with 2 runs and an RBI. Luke Raley with a great game. 3 for 5 with a run and 2 RBIs. Crawford 0 for 1, a run and some walks. Canzone 0 for 3. Cole Young 0 for 2. And then obviously the guy that really put us in this position to get the fucking job done, Logan Gilbert. Terrible in his first 2 starts. Good in start number 3, but he didn't get the win. And then today, 7 innings pitched. 4 hits, only 1 earned run, a cheap home run by Yanier Diaz that happened obviously in the 5th inning, top of the 5th. But other than that, 1 earned run, 1 walk, which is fantastic, 7 Ks, 85 pitches, 56 strikes, and his ERA goes to 4.18. Nice job, Seattle Mariners, and nice job, Logan Gilbert. And then on the flip side, let's go over the Astros stats here. All right, so Jose Altuve, always a thorn in our side, 3 for 4. He had a good game. The first game, Yordan Alvarez does not homer, thank God, 0 for 3. Paredes, 1 for 4. Christian Walker, 0 for 3. Cam Smith, 0 for 3. Loperfido, 0 for 3. Yanier Diaz, 1 for 3 with that home run, the only run of the Astros today. Taylor Trammell, the former Mariner, 0 for 3. And then Allen, 0 for 3 as well. And then the former Seattle Mariner pitcher to start the game, Cody Bolton, got pulled in the first inning. And this one feels really, really good. Logan Gilbert with his first win of the season, and Cody Bolton, obviously, with the loss. No problem. Appreciate you. No problem. Well, this one feels good. Now I'm going to, go to the restroom here and get some soap and some toothbrushes and clean this hat off and, figure out what I'm going to end up doing here with Paisley for the rest of the day, go on another victory walk. And again, 3 wins in a row after a 5-game losing streak. And not only does it feel good to win, it feels fucking great to beat a rival. To beat the Houston Astros, there's nothing sweeter. When you beat the Rangers, it feels good. Beat the Athletics and the Angels, within the division feels good. When you play the Yankees or the Dodgers, it feels good. When you play the Blue Jays, it feels good, or the Tigers, but again, one of our heated rivals, if not the most heated, is the Astros. And we're not the only organization that does not like them for a number of reasons. We know that. But anytime that you can end up beating up on your rival and winning 3 games in a row, it is fucking sweet. Final score, Seattle Mariners 6, Houston Astros 1, and we have a game tomorrow. 4th game in the set, same time, same place, 1:10 Pacific here on the Northwest Sports Fanatics on YouTube. I am your host, Orion, and we got George Kirby on the bump tomorrow, and you got to feel pretty damn confident that we might be able to get the sweep with Kirby on the mound. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys. Final score, Seattle Mariners 6, Houston Astros 1. Have a great rest of your Sunday evening, and again, I'm going to spend some quality time with my pup, and I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow at 1:10 Pacific on a Monday afternoon. Weird start, weird time. Normally we play in the evening, but again, if you can be here, please do. And again, Seattle with a 3-game winning streak. Damn, that feels good. Let's go. And we're only a couple games below 500 now. 7-9. We win tomorrow. 8-9. We get another victory with Woo. Look at that. We're at 500. Let's get it done. Love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very much. Shout out to Captain and Roy with the Dono Train. Captain with a 10er, Roy with a 5er, as well as everyone else participating and helping out throughout the stream. Appreciate you guys very much. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Orion, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I am out. Tridents up. Go Mariners.